from the floodlit gloom. Tables, transfers, drama and scores. From step 7 grounds to step 1 wars. Gaz on the mic, mascot the word. Grab brings the fire, let it be heard. Dugout diaries with the facts we've received. Sussex football, we're here for the fans. SNLF, Sussex, non-league newsroom. Powered by Dugout A.
Again, that. And we're back.
We're back. Yeah, we're back. Good evening. Welcome back to the SNLF show. This is episode 76, but more importantly, this is episode 1 of the 26-27 season. Football's back. The pitches are looking immaculate, or some of them are anyway. Optimism is high. Every club has apparently recruited brilliantly. Every manager is really pleased with where they are. And according to social media, everyone is winning the league this year. So it must be the start of another football season. It's fantastic to have all back with us as we kick off a brand new chapter of the SNLF show. But before we go any further, let's remind you exactly what the SNLF show is all about. We don't just bring you the Sussex preview. We bring you the review. From previews to reviews, breaking news, transfers, interviews, predictions, debates, dugout diaries in the top left-hand corner, the food guy, me, and everything in between. Whether it's Friday night under the lights, Tuesday evening the FA Cup, a Southern Combination derby, or one of our Sussex clubs flying high in the National League, we've got it covered. From National League through to Isthmian, right down to Southern Combination Football League, the SFL show is your one-stop shop for Sussex football. If it's happening in Sussex, you'll find it right here. Now, you notice a few changes right away. We've got a brand new logo, courtesy of, well, it's this corner for me. I don't know where it's showing up everywhere else. We've got a brand new lineup, 2 reprobates at the bottom there. We've got plenty of new opinions, and perhaps the biggest of all, the substitute teacher is now the headmaster. I don't know how that's happened. Filled in for the last couple of years. Always made a bit of a hash of it. Never prepared. I'm prepared now. Really prepared now. So look, we've been busy in the transfer markets. No transfer fees, no agents, no 7-year contracts. There may have been some bacon rolls and green tea in the negotiations, maybe even a cruise campo somewhere. But before we introduce the new signings, let's start with a man who's been here from day one. Maka, Mr. Dugout Diaries, welcome back. You've been busy over the last few weeks, months, and you've
look, lads. No, it's great to be back. The SNLF is what started it all off. We went from 56 listeners in our first ever podcast when we did back all those months and months ago to becoming a podcast that was regularly rated in the top 5 in the nation, that even most recently came 3rd in the best National League podcast. I'm delighted to have retained the services of my co-founder, the food guy, the most electrifying man in burger reviews and coffee making, Gaz Spinks. And we had to shake up. We had a couple of departures. We wish them all the best to Trev and to Chris there. Thank you for everything. Did great, massive part of the success. But we had to bring in a couple of subs. We had to go deep in the transfer market. A man that I call a day oneer down there. The man with more hair on his chin than his head. A man that was a champion, that was brought back down to life in his second ring. A man that did one of my first ever Dugout Diaries sessions with me, Grant Hearn. Grant, welcome to the team. I know before they get to you, I know you're going to bring a lot of inside stuff. You've been a manager, you've been a player, you've been a coach, you've been a champion as well. You got promoted as that when you had that great team at Forest Road there. So we'll get to you in a second, mate. It's delighted to have you on board. Then the guy, the dark horse, the guy that I think is going to be the #1 writer on non-league football in this area, a man that I chased hard. I didn't realise all those years that he was watching, all those episodes, he wanted to come along and be part of it as well. We brought Matt down, who writes amazingly for Non-League Souths on X. He is a guy that has much more knowledge about non-league than me. He's got his own opinions. He's not as opinionated as me. He might sit on the fence for a little bit, but he's over there. We're going to introduce him and say a little bit about him in a second. But firstly, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for staying with us, staying with the brand, supporting us in our when we won those awards with the non-league Bible. Okay, we can't do it without guys like yourselves. Okay, that retweet, that share, that do everything they can to support non-league football. We're not in it to make money. We're in it to make exposure, give the players, the managers, the clubs what they deserve. Okay, and today we're kicking off with a great show. We've got a couple of special guests that will be joining on in a bit. We're going to have double winners, Michael Ham and Dion Jarvis, former Stenning manager and Stenning captain. Two people I admire massively. Obviously, Hammy's took a sabbatical now. We'll get into that. And obviously, Dion, who was the second top goal scorer in the league, a problem, an absolute problem, now joins Littlehampton. But without further ado, and shout out to my boy Lee Penn, who's just hit 7,000 subs on YouTube. Well done, Lee. Massive part of the brand there. Shout out. Most followed non-league YouTuber in Sussex. So, without further ado, I'm going to pass you, Grant. Welcome to the show, my friends. Why the hell did you sign up for this?
I think, Mike, I think it was your massive persuasive salesman technique, I think, mate. That's what it was. Obviously, now it's great to be on board. As you said, Mike, I've been an avid listener from day one. You said there's 56 people listening on that first show. I was one of them. I didn't know there's only 56 of us, but so no, look, I say as a manager when I was at Forest Row, you supported us, we supported you. It was great. Obviously, now not being involved in football as a manager on a day-to-day basis, but still want to be involved in football, reached out to yourselves and we had a chat and a conversation and met for a beer in a pub, and it sort of went from there. And for me, it was a very, very easy and quick decision to make, to jump on. Like I say, I'm not doing the day-to-day management, not training, no pre-seasons, no training plans, negotiating with players. I want this, I want that. Then trying to do a pre-season plan and optimize game time, manage minutes for players, manage fitness, people returning from the season with injury, all that sort of stuff's gone now. So I can purely just focus on this. And I think this is still a great way of being involved in Sussex non-league football for me. So massive, easy decision. Big fan of the show from day one. As you said, it was great to sort of hopefully try and carry on what you've done previously with Chris and Trev. So just hopefully we can take it forward. Hopefully I can add a little bit of insights from a manager's stroke coach's point of view. As you said that as well, though, Mike Bowles, I want to point out, been on a committee member, I've bloody mowed the lawns, I've cleaned changing rooms out, I've been in tea bars, I've worked behind the bar at clubs. So, I'm not afraid of getting my hands dirty and doing the horrible dog work behind the scenes at clubs, which I know a lot of people do and get unrewarded for, really. It's a critical part of the job. So I've done all those bits, down to playing, down to managing. So great to be on board, mate.
Fantastic. And look, I want to get, firstly, before we go any further, I want to get the elephant out of the room. Yeah? You got a great team promoted in Forest Row. You gave me the honour of you and Andy, great guy, doing the interview when you went to East Grinstead. Okay? It didn't work out.
Yeah.
But I know you leave with good vibes and everything like that. This show isn't about berating former clubs or anything like that. It's all about love and wanting the best for everyone. So,
oh, mate, yeah, absolutely. For me, I honour that. Yeah, echo that. So I should say, you know, for me, any club I've ever left, I've always left on good terms. Yeah, it didn't work out how I wanted it to work out. It didn't work out how East Grinstead wanted it to work out. So, you know, at that time, it was best for me to sort of part ways with the club. I think Gaz said I didn't want a relegation on my CV. Gaz, cheers, mate. That I can honestly say, guys, that was the furthest thing from my mind. That's not part of my makeup and who I am. If I'm going to fail, I'll fail, and I'll put my hands up at it. And if I win, I'll put my hands up at it. So, you know, if I didn't want it on my CV, I would have quit many jobs many times, many years ago, mate. Because as we all know, being a manager of a football club, especially non-league, is a roller coaster with wins and loses and successful teams and non-successful teams. Like I say, I'm not back in football management yet, and at the moment, I'm really enjoying my time off. I'm not looking to get back into it yet. So hopefully that just goes to prove to people that it wasn't just, I don't want it on my CV, Gaz. But Gaz, you are absolutely entitled to your opinion, and that's probably what half the people were saying, mate. So hats off to you.
I just think, I was honest, and I think I funded out with you last week, I think, as well. No, I think we spoke about it last week. But I just, from the outside in, that could have been what other people were thinking about it, and that's part and parcel of this, and that's why, like, we can have this conversation because we have opinions. We come on here, we do this. Actually, the two that probably have the biggest opinions are still left on the podcast, in terms of not wanting to upset people. Look, we have these opinions and we'll back it up. And if we're wrong, then we'll hold our hands up and we'll go, do you know what? We're wrong. Yeah. So,
oh, mate, I'm still really good friends with everyone at East Grinstead Town. You know, the chairman's a good friend of mine, the under-18 manager, Lewis, and he's on the committee member. You know, I had loads of messages today from loads of people and lots of people from East Grinstead me wishing all the best for this process. So for me, it's love.
Yeah, I obviously went up and met Andy and Dave Connor actually for a couple of beers, and I explained to him, by having you on the show, this wasn't about that I don't have that on the show, and that it's all love and that. But I'm delighted to have you on. I do know that we've got two special guests in the green room there, two lads that I'm going to get on in a minute. I'm sure they can hear me. These two that we've been fighting to get on. But before we do that, I want to get on to the new signing, the guy that no one has probably heard about, but you would have guaranteed you would have read something about his stuff online. Matt Rogers, welcome to the show. He goes by non-League South on X, and he is a dark horse. Start reading his stuff because he's got opinions and he knows a lot more than me. Matt, why are you coming on this show? This could be a career killer.
Well, I'm buzzing to be here, mate, honestly. You say I know a lot more than you, but we'll see. I've only been doing my page for less than a year, so it's all happened quite quickly. I just saw what other people were doing. I thought, I reckon I can give that a go. And here we are less than a year later. This felt like the next logical step. I've watched the show since before I started doing what I'm doing, so something of an inspiration to get me started. So to be here now is a goal realised. Yes, like I say, felt like the next logical step. It feels like something. I think I said to you when I first reached out, I wouldn't be coming on here if I didn't think I had something to contribute, if I didn't think it was the right thing. I'm not just here to make up the numbers and sit in the corner and say nothing. I'm here because I'm passionate about non-league football. I'm local to the area. I'm going out there, attending games, making relationships, making content. I can't wait to bring that to you guys and this show. 100%.
I love that. I love the vibe you're giving. Now, Gaz, I think we've let these two lads in the green room wait around a bit too long, haven't we?
We said 15:15, didn't we? We've still got a minute.
We did, but these guys.
We've introduced hydration breaks this week because if these guys get going, you won't be able to get your Cruisy Campo.
Did you say hydration break, mate? Did you?
Hydration breaks, yeah.
Dugout 90. Buy a can. Support your club.
I thought you mentioned hydration breaks.
That was fucking smooth, wasn't it?
Well, we're going there. Without further ado, I want to get two of last year's superstars from the SCFL in. One's on a sabbatical. One's now moved on to his real home, which is in LA. I want to bring into the show Hammy and Dion Jarvis from last year's double winning team, Stenning Town. Lads, welcome to the show.
Evening all.
How are we doing? We good?
We're all good. Hammy, how are you, mate?
I'm all good. I'm regretting it a bit now. I've walked the dog twice today. I'm washing up, cleaning. Yeah, I think I fucked up. I was even hoovering.
Out for a club, yeah?
Yeah. Under sevens, please.
To be fair, mate, you're on a sabbatical at the moment. You know what I mean? You walked off into the sunset with a couple of trophies.
Yeah.
You did it. I had a little chat with your number 2 at the time at the weekend, old Hollis. And
top man.
A great guy. One I really respect. And I said how well you lot have done and that. And I know we've been trying to get you on this kind of show. And I know you don't really do these kind of interviews. But now
it's not that. I think unless you've got something to talk about, then why talk about it? But we got a lot to talk about now.
Oh, have we? Bloody hell.
We have. And alongside you is the captain, the guy that I think's got the dog in him. One of the guys that I think is without a doubt last season, without a doubt, in the top 1-2 players in that league. Dion Jarvis. Woo, my brother.
Bad
How
egg.
we doing? We good?
Bad egg.
Great egg.
Yeah. I hear all these stories, and every time I've met him, every time I spoke to him, he's an absolute diamond. Yeah. But we'll get to that. I'm going to have a few questions from our guys here, but I'm going to start because I'm a greedy little mofo like that. I'm going to start, Hammy, with you. Right. What is it like to be that guy that goes on there, wins the double in one of the hardest prems that we've seen in years, come from a massive deficit against a team that was 17 on the bounce in there? You kept your cool. You didn't bite. Every interview I saw of you, you were chilled out. It was like you knew what was going to happen. Hammy, talk to me.
Well, firstly, it wasn't ever about me, and it's not about me. It's still not about me. We like Jamie Hollis, like he had just as much input as I did. I'm a big believer in letting people work. So let your coaches work, let your good players be good players, and I'll fill in the gaps. I got a lot of things wrong at the beginning, a lot of things. It was my first managerial job. I've been assistant twice, and both of them suffered in relegation. It sort of taught me I'm not scared of losing as well.
I like that.
But then I've always been a big believer in letting people work. You've got to see what people are good at, what they're not good at, and then manage the gaps from that. So, like the football that we played last year, and I stand by it, and I've said it all the time, is Jamie Hollis. Like his training, and Deidre will back this up. His coaching and like his detail and things is meticulous. It is really brilliant. We're very sort of different in a lot of ways. Like I'm always very like forward. That's how I like my teams to play. I want to enjoy watching the teams. I know it sounds silly sometimes, but I'd rather win a game like 5-3, 5-4 than 1-0. And because I enjoy football, I love 90s football. That was what it was like. That's what I was brought up in. And Jamie was very possession based as well. So, and without really saying it, we sort of morphed ourselves together to create this team where we had both, if that makes sense. And yeah, do you know what? We were chilled because we spoke about it right at the beginning of the season that we never said like, right, we're going to go and win the league. I said, we're going to go for the title. That was it. And we spoke about it at the beginning of the season. And then we didn't speak about it again until we had to. No matter what was going on, what was happening, it didn't matter. We just stayed in our lane and did what we needed to do and let everything else go on around us.
I'll tell you what, so I'm only laughing. You two have been dressed the same, isn't it? Is that a champions?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Is it?
Like that. I love the banner. Love that. Right, so tell me then, Hammy, before we get on to your former skipper, for my questions. At what point did you think the tides were turning last season?
Do you know what? I never, and you can ask the lads this, and you can ask anyone here. I never felt it was gone. I always felt it was there. A football season. It's not one. You can't win a league in October. You can't win a league in. Yeah, okay, you can win a league in January, but that's going to be some hell of a team that does that. Like the business end of the season is the business end of the season for a reason, and we were a brand new group. Like the reason I knew Deej was he decorated my house. Right? So we built this team, and we knew it was going to take time. And like I said before, it was my first season as a manager, so I was going to take time. And in all of that, it just sort of grew legs, and we went from one to another, and we just went like we had like we don't. I'd say this is that we had like a we don't really care attitude. Was that we're just us. Let's just be us, and the club's brilliant for that as well. They just like when I obviously I was Jerry's assistant in the Isthmian, and when I took over, Jerry put me forward, and I love Jerry. I love everyone at the club. They're such a good club, but there was never any pressure on. Right, we've got to win the league. We've got to go up. I think the conversation that I had was, if we're like 15th at Christmas, like we're gonna have to come into the office. There's never any pressure. They generally let you be and operate. They put food on after training, so everyone's together. Like we spend so much time together, and we built like this massive bond through all of that. Like we were bursting with characters, and sometimes I feel like sometimes doing nothing is just as good as doing something. So there's times where you can just let them be. They can do what they need to do. And I never felt like it was gone. Like we all believed the ability in the side. We knew we were getting stronger. And we had this like resilience about us, which if we dropped a point or we lost the game, like we had this bounce back ability of real men in the changing room where we'd be like, no. And it wasn't like a spoken thing. It was just stand up and be counted when you need to be. So like, if you look back on our fixtures, we'll go back, you look back, and if we dropped a point, the next game we're 3-0 or the game after that, like, and then we'll go again. And we had like this resilience, which come within. It wasn't like me. I wouldn't put any of this down to me. I'd put it all down to the whole group as a whole, because we all pulled in the same way. And yeah, we created something where sometimes you can look at it as easier to be a chaser, but when you're chasing something which they picked up the league in November, I think, and then they picked up the Vars in January. So like it was.
I know. I fucking went all the way.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and this was very much us, and it's very much stemming is that let's just go about our business. What will be. If we lose, fuck it, we'll go again. And that was we had like a carefree attitude to it all. I think Deej would agree with that as well.
But I famously backed Hayward Heath all the way. I lost a £220 charity bet.
I'm
glad to hear that.
and I gave, and you know, and that's when you were behind as well. You know, I mean, look, fair play, absolutely fair play. I loved it as well. I turned up at the Stenning game versus Hayward Heath at yours. Yeah, getting loads of banter from your fans, your ultras. I loved it. I want that. I want that. It was all in good jest.
They're real good. They're real good lads. Them young ultra boys, and you find it through the county league now, where you're getting some good crowds with some young boys with their drums, enjoying the Saturday. Yeah, enjoying the football, and it's massive because like the boys loved it, and even when you go to away games, there's an atmosphere now, and they're creating something, and they might not realise the young lads and what they're doing for the clubs and for the players, but it means so much, and it's good that they're all getting so involved in local non-league football.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I'm just going to jump on to Dion now before I pass you over to the things. Dion, my guy. This guy, right? People don't know this. This guy was watching the England game the other night. It's about 1 a.m. Where were you? At the Sportsman?
No, the Very Little Anthem, which was the Cocoa Lounge. So yeah.
Hacky there. He had Mitch Hand.
Can't take it out of the boy, can you?
No, you can't.
All the geezers I know, and they were proper going for inside. I love that. That was I was just sitting on my couch, and I thought, how quickly can I get to Little Hampton?
You should have come, mate. It's unreal. One of the best nights out.
But I tell you what, you were by far one of the standout players in that league. And I tell you what, if Bognor are listening, you should have signed this lad up. You should have paid the money and signed him up. Proper, by the way. Our Mitch Hand, and I tell you what, I spoke to Mitch before when there's all these things about where you're going to go and everything like that. And he was confident. And I know Mitch, and I love Mitch and Gaskin. He was confident. He went, you never know, mate. He might come back. And I was thinking, I'm hearing all these stories going here and that. The season you had last year, absolutely put towards a title winning side. You know, you were that captain fantastic. You were that guy, you know, that pulled them through. What did you get? 32 goals?
Yeah, 32 in the end. Yeah.
Something like that. Your goal per game was 0.73.
Bloody hell. Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
There was only one other lad that beat that, and he only played 24 games. Okay. You and my guy, the Fridge, would. I love the Fridge so much. I think I'm meeting him at Goodwood's at the end of the month. And
he's a good lad. He's a really good.
He's a good lad.
He was a holding midfielder 3 years ago.
That would have been another one of my questions. He told me about that, and suddenly you tell. And now where's he playing? Fareham or something like that?
Yeah, he's gone to Fareham. They're playing Bognor tonight.
Yeah. But Dion, mate, I'm excited to see what you're going to do down at Little Hampton. You know, I'm coming down there to see you boys and have one. I ain't got too many questions for you because you know I'll rate you like anything. These boys will have questions. I just think I don't think you'll be able to handle a night out on me. You being an athlete and all, you know what I mean?
We'll give it a good go, won't we?
You being on the dugout water and stuff like that. Instead, I'll be on the old Cruisy.
Cruisy, love it.
I'm excited to see what you're going to do down at Little Hampton. Great club, one that I really like, one that really is your home because you were part of that side that did everything. Yeah, I remember seeing the documentary about you and thinking how humble you were on there, and like some kid was doing a bit of interviewing with you and that, and I thought that's a proper guy. Then you got on the pitch and you're a fucking animal. Do you know what I mean?
He's hard work, I'll tell you. He's hard work.
I bet he is. But every manager would take this guy
absolutely
in their team. I've rabbited on enough. You know I love you too. Lads, over to you before we end up missing the fucking England game because we rabbit on too much.
I'm going to go next. Sorry, guys. Hierarchy will get there eventually. How you doing, guys? You all right?
How you doing? You good?
Yeah, good. I mean, I haven't seen you since after the Hayward Heath game and you were in the shop stocking up. You looked a bit stressed after that game.
Nah, it was all right. It was all in hand. It was all part. That weren't our big game. The game before was our big game. That was our warm down.
Yeah. You did look stressed, though. I'm not going to lie to you.
Was that the 4 vapes in the end?
Yeah. What was the best performance last season when you thought, actually, do you know what? We're gonna do it here?
I think in the timing of the game and the control that we had in the game, it was actually probably the game after Hayward Heath when we played Eastbourne United at home.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, going back to the resilience that we had in the side, it's easy because we had quite a hard running after Hayward Heath. I think we had Eastbourne United, then we had Peacehaven, and then we had Seaford. In that moment, it's easy to, like you've seen it before, it's easy to capitulate or to second guess but we were calm, we were in control, we controlled the game, and like Eastbourne are a good side. And I never let myself get ahead of it all. Like I spoke about before, I wouldn't talk about it or think about it, get involved in anything until I personally had that trophy in my hand. Then I wouldn't believe it, type thing. But that was the game where I thought, and I know it seems quite close, but after that, I just thought, you know what? like this could be it, because I think we beat them 3-0 and they were storming at the time, Eastbourne United, and I think they needed to get a result against us to still have a chance of the playoffs.
Both those two teams you said, Eastbourne United and Peacehaven, could have been both potential banana skins, couldn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it was total control from us. But I think we went top. I think we went top in mid-February. So I don't think we'd been top until that point, and I think we went top in mid-February, and then after that we just didn't let go, and it was. I don't know what, I think it was 15 points behind, 16 points behind at one point, and we ended up winning it by 6.
Yeah, I know.
And then points were gained in, like, if you look at it, essentially the last 3-4 games where you're like, where it should be squeaky bum time. It's where you stand up and be counted as men, really.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm gonna go to Dion. You played 44 games. You started 44 games, and you only got subbed off in 5 last season, right? Old Stan played 51 games and got 36 goals. You got 32 goals. Do you blame Hammy for not being top goal scorer?
No, to be fair, Stan had penalties as well. Stan scored like 7 or 8 penalties. So technically, I'm the top goal scorer.
Stan reckons we brought Brewer in because we needed like something a little bit different, and he reckons if we didn't bring Brewer in, he would have hit like 60s.
He's a player.
He's still a little bit bitter about that.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah. Dion, what was your favourite moment from last season?
I'd say the Horsham Wyham game, I think before Christmas. I think it was at half time. At half time, they're all cheering and celebrating, and we got in the change room at half time, and that got my blood boiling a little bit. So second half, we literally came out, dominated the whole 45 minutes.
I know this
and
one.
I managed to get 2 goals in the last 5 minutes and ran over to the Wyham bench.
Is that when you ran past the bench and had it?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I've got a funny one about that one as well, because my missus, she was due to give birth either like 2 days before or whatever. But then her waters broke in the first half of that game, and I was at the game. So I've looked at my phone and I was just like, okay, well, we'll get through the game and then I'll be back. And she's like, okay, just don't hang around, please, just come back. I was like, okay. So 1-3-1, and it was a good game. There was a lot of emotion, and there's a lot still riding on it because we can't drop points, and Horsham is still chasing. They were in good form. And then she's like, "Are you coming back?" I'm like, "Yeah, leaving straight away." And I think she's gone on the Twitter or something just to see how we got on. And then there's a video on there of me in the dressing room with all the ultras with the drums jumping around. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on my way." So the writing was probably on the wall for me to have to step down at that point.
Who was the biggest character in the dressing room last season, Dion? I'll come to you because.
To be fair, we're blessed with so many. So Lats and Jazz were massive for us. They probably didn't play as many games as they probably wanted to, but honestly, without them two in the changing room, we wouldn't have won the league. Even if they weren't in the squad or on the bench, they still the same people, still pick people up, getting people going, cheering people on. And then you got different people like Royal came in, and Royal's just like a bundle of joy. He's a weirdo. He's the weirdest bloke we ever meet in the changing room, but honestly, he just gets you out of a mood and puts you in the right mood. And then you've got other people like Max, Tad, everyone was such a good blokes. So yeah, it was a blessing to be in that dressing room because everyone's a credit to themselves.
Yeah. Dylan, I'm going to come back to you in a second. I'm going to talk a little bit about Littlehampton. Hammy, what's one bit of advice you'd give Brannan this season? You were assistant when they were at Step 4 last time. Is there anything like advice-wise you could give that they need to look at this season?
Terms of as a manager, or
as a manager, yeah, like because he's obviously.
I think the biggest lesson I learned this year, there was quite a few. I think being selfish was one that I learned very quickly for yourself and for the team. Sometimes you do have to be selfish. It's not in my nature, but I realised really quickly that you do have to be. You can't keep everyone happy, and ultimately the end goal is to bring success. So people are going to lose out at some point, but the end goal is still to win. Selfish. I still feel that the biggest one is probably to be adaptable. Like that's the biggest one for me. Be prepared to. I know some managers might not agree with it, but it's what I found worked for me is that you need to be prepared to be flexible with what you're playing. It's easier for me to change slight things about me than change 23, 24 players. So that's what I found that worked best, is that I can adapt myself to certain situations than try to adapt people to the situation I want it to be, type thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But you learn all the time. You learn, like I say, sometimes you learn the hard way. And it's that is normally the best way. Like I said, right at the beginning wasn't easy. I listen a lot to players. I appreciate people's opinion. I think that there's two different games from the side and from the pitch. So you've got to be prepared to listen as well. Don't think you have all the answers, because what you don't know is fine, because there'll be someone in that room that does. So don't feel like you have to know the answer.
Yeah. No, thank you, Dion. Just quickly, and then we'll pass over to Grant and Matt.
Yeah.
Obviously, gone back to Littlehampton this year.
Up the goals.
They were very, very, very lucky at the end of last season. What prompted you to go back? What made you want to go back? Did it feel like it was unfinished business, or is it a case of you want to kick on this year with Littlehampton? You see that more as an opportunity than maybe spinning? I'm putting words in your mouth now, but we'll see.
No. So last year, funny enough, I met Mitch before joining Stennon last year.
Yeah.
And he tried making me go back to Atlanta. And I think Mitch already spoke to Mac about it on his other podcast. But I said to him, I just need a year of just continuously winning and improving myself. So I went through the last few years. I weren't really playing well. I was playing 1 in 6 games of me actually playing well. And I said, I want to drop back down to step 5 and just hit the ground running and have a really good year. And then, me and Mitch are really good mates outside of football, so we always keep contact. And then I see the team, they've got more local lads back, and that's what Littlehampton are made of. They're made of local lads. You want to play for the badge, play for the team, play for the fans. And I think that's what they've been missing the last 3 or 4 years. There hasn't been the local players about. And now they got, obviously, Tejan, Marshall, Hackey, Charlie Robinson's come through at Wick. He's older now. And obviously I'm one of the older boys now. So it seemed like the right thing to do, just go back there and give it a really good shot. I mean, it's such a good thing. Is people look at Littlehampton from the outside and think they're thugs, this and the other, but until you're truly in the dressing room, you would honestly love it. But you have to be a certain character as well. You can't be big time or anything, because you'll just get chewed up in the changing room. You need to be humbled and level-headed. No,
sweet. Thanks, guys. Right. I don't want to put one of them down. Which one's going to go next, Matt or Grant? Let's go, Matt. Sorry, Grant. Matt sits above you. So.
Well, a lot of the questions I had have been asked, which I suppose comes with being down the pecking order. But I've got one for both of you, really. So you've spoken about, you had the belief all season that you could do it and it was possible. But does your mindset change when, you get to February, you go top of the league, every single game is must win, you've got Hayward Heath so close behind? Does the way that you approach matches change with that in mind, or do you try and go with the same mindset no matter what and try and push all of that to the back of your minds for both of you?
Honestly, nothing changed for us. Like we had a thing like never too high, never too low. It was like, if we lose, it's done. We can't fix it. Like, it's finished. So then we go on to the next. And that was very much how our season was. We train. So we weren't like, I know some people like really choke it, but we train twice in 1 week and then we'll have a day off. So we won't be going bang, 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 hell to level all the time. We just did what we needed to do and keep chucking away, knowing and believing that, do you know what, we're a good side. We just keep going, it'll be fine. And it came to fruition. Like, essentially, like you look back at it and you think,
Yeah,
you could have easily got squeaky bum or whatever, but the belief was just always there. It was always there. We never planned. We never spoke about playoffs, like what we're going to do for this. We prepare for that. It was always like game, next one, bam, next one, next game, bam, next one, next one. And that's all we ever looked at was the next game. What was done, and the next one was the next most important one.
Love that.
Yeah, I think so. What Harry said, I think we never really looked too far ahead. I always told the boys to tick one game off as they come. And I think as well, I've won this league twice. You can't win this league being serious all the time. It just doesn't happen. And I think that's what we had so good. We could have a laugh in training, even before the game on the Saturday. We can have a laugh before the game. But as soon as it hit 3 o'clock, we had 16 players who knew how to turn their heads. And over a 90-minute spell, we had so many match winners, and always knew. Even it was some games, I think we got to 80th minute, and we knew we had it in us. So
I think if you look back at the thing, I think we were the only team to score in every league game. So that also brought quite a lot of belief. That I think there was only one game that we didn't score in, and I think that was like Fisher in the Vars, wasn't it? But I think we scored. We scored against Tunbridge away. We scored it twice at Tunbridge at home. And I'm just trying to think of. I think that was literally maybe the only game of the whole season that we possibly didn't score in. So
and you had some dodgy things at Guernsey. Was it Guernsey where balls went over?
Yeah. But it's like I was never one to go at officials without them. There's no game, and it's just disappointing when it happens to you. When the shoe's on the other foot, you're buzzing, aren't you? So you can't sort of celebrate one without the other. But it was. There was a few though. We had a few little things. But yeah, what's that?
A little question coming for you, Harry.
If the right job coming on, no, I'm not. I'm not ready to jump into anything now.
You have to email his other half.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, she's got my card, my wallet, my card. She's got so yeah. No, I'm fully immersed in being a dad. Concentrating on that. Recently moved house. I've got work to do here. I'm gonna go around. I'll go watch Deej at Littlehampton. I've got friends at Pagham. I've got friends at Bognor. I'm gonna enjoy watching that. I'll be down at Stenning. I'll probably be Brannon's biggest fan. Like it probably look like I'm pestered him, but I'll be on the way coaches to Margate and that. Yeah. So no, I'm not interested. Who knows? Like maybe in 2 years' time, like I might have the buzz back. Because I don't think he'll ever leave you. But at this moment in time, I need to be here for my family.
I mean, depending how this next guy's questions go, we might have a vacancy coming up here.
Yeah. I just have to shave my head when I.
Go on.
Have you finished, Matt?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna it's not a question, more of a statement. Just fair play, Hammy. I think it takes a special sort of person to be able to step away from something so great, to put family and all of that first. So absolutely, I just want to say fair play, mate. Honestly, I know that can't be easy.
It wasn't, but yeah.
Season, to step away at that time in particular, absolutely credit to you, mate. Honestly,
thank you, mate. I really appreciate that.
Grant, over to you, my friend.
Cheers, mate. Right, Hammy. Yeah, just a few questions, but I'll do a few quick fire ones at the end just to liven it up a bit. Obviously, as a previous manager in that league, obviously only for a short time when I was at Forest Row. Obviously, we had a real recruitment for us was a massive part of us to progress to where we wanted to achieve as a club. What was your policy, and how did you look at recruitment with regards to? Was it characters, people you knew, people you could trust? Money, I like that money. No, yeah.
I think it all plays a part, doesn't it? But there's sort of like a bracket, which I think to try and do something is that you need to be of a certain age. Now, don't get me wrong, we did have some younger players like Brewer and Evan Hoherty who had really, really good seasons. But I think you need to have be of a certain age where you've had them experiences. And I think as well, and what I sort of like to do is that you need to have a link to a player. So it's all well and easy to be like, right, I like that player, let's get him, but it's hard to get one player from there and one player from there. I always look at it like it's easier to get, say, get the free from there. There's your link straight away. There's free from there. Are they in that age bracket? Have they got the character which will suit the group? And then as they come into the side, you've already got, it will look like you've got pockets of groups, but if they're the character you think they are, you soon morph into one. And the link's already started in the first pre-season session, so you're not sort of coming alone. And it's easy for players to flake out as well if they're coming alone. And but if you're coming together with characters and with experience, the bonds build quicker. And I think players look around as well. Like I said at the first pre-season session, like sometimes you don't have to say anything. You can just look around the player, look to the player next to you, and be like, okay. And if that player looks next to them, they're like, okay. Like you don't have to say what you're going to do. The players know what's within the group, what the potential is.
And was there one player that when you signed him, you thought, yeah, we're in a chance here, mate. It is quality. This is exactly what they need, because it then rolls on to other players coming in. Was there a key player that?
Dion's the captain. He's become a very, very close.
Kick him
friend.
out of the room.
Without him.
He did. When I gave this award out, he didn't talk to me for a day. So I don't want to bring it back up again. But there was we brought Marcus Allen in October, and I gave him my manager's player. He just sort of linked everything. Like we had some really good players like Tad Bromwich next to him, who was an absolute animal. And we had some good midfielders in front. But Marcus Allen just really sort of made everything click. And I'm so glad he's staying at Steyning, because he's a really, really top lad, but a really good, calm defender who can read any situation and a real ball playing good lad. But he was essentially the one where I think where you look at it and you go, that's what changed everything. Sorry, Deej, mate. I'm sorry about that. I got to talk to me till tomorrow now.
I'm just saying, those signings are so key also for the changing room, to get the right buzz, to get the right balance, to get the right input. Those sort of signings are
exactly. And the thing is, Marcus already knew a few of the lads as well, which made it easy. So he sort of slotted straight in. And I'll go back to what I was saying earlier about, like, as a manager, like you feel like you have to do it all, but you don't. But players recruit players as well, so you don't ever have to feel like you need to know every single player everywhere, because one of your players will know. One of your players will know a player, and so through getting Kuss made me aware that Woz might be available for loan, and that's how that started. Then Woz coming in loan, he saw what we were about. And then he went back to Burgess Hill and he was like, do you know what? I want to go back to Steyning. And that's credit to all the boys in the change room of what they all done in there.
Yeah, cool. Right, I've just got a few quick fire ones, and I'll chuck these over to you, Dion, then as a player in the team in that change room day in, day out. Who's the funny man of the club, the joker who made everyone laugh?
Who's this, me or Hammy? Sorry.
Yeah, Dion. Yeah, for you. Yeah, Dion. I'll chuck these to you. Hammy, if you disagree, jump in, mate.
Go on.
Okay. Worrell, was that?
Or lads.
Whoa.
Who's the best trainer, the hardest working trainer that wanted to train all the time?
Finn, Alex Plummer, or Conrad.
I think on that worst trainer, lazy bastard, didn't want to do it. Last one out, physio, hamstring.
Harry Heath. Harry or me.
Harry's always the physio. You'll never see him training. He's always in the physio. Before a game once, I think he was on the bench, so he had the ump a bit, and I was like, "Where is he?" So I'm like looking round, and like he's always got. So I was like, "Where is he?" And obviously Arsenal had an early kickoff, so I was like, "Where the fuck is he?" And Jay's like, "I don't know." So I've gone looking for him. He's in the physio room, still in his tracksuit, laying down, getting like a back massage, watching Arsenal on his phone.
Terrible. Right then, next one. Biggest liability on the pitch?
That's him again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably got to be Deej.
Yeah, to be fair,
He's got himself. I'll tell you, he's got himself in some pickles last season.
I need to ask this one that goes on my next one. Then, who's the hard man of the team, or thinks he is?
Oh, Tad, without doubt.
Yeah.
And this is a sort of top of answer. Who was the biggest influence on the pitch as a player, Dion? And for you, Hammy, who was the biggest influence off the pitch?
Ooh, nice question.
On the pitch, I'd say Finn, because he sets the tempo and everything he does. He probably runs for 11, 12k a game, and he gets you through the final 10 minutes as everyone's running. I'd say Finn, yeah, massively.
Off the pitch, in terms of, I don't know, we had so many characters. Like if you wanted someone to keep a mood at a level and keep like spirits high, given the situation, whatever, you'd probably say Lats. But Dion was a really good captain. He was a really good captain and drove the team off the pitch, and everyone brought into that. Yeah, if you're looking at two different spectrums of it, you'd say Lats was like, will keep everything at a good level. And if you're ready to essentially go to war, Dion would probably be your man.
Brilliant. I just got one final one, Mike. Sorry, mate. It's just like, say, as a manager in that league, you said earlier, Hammy, that you'd lose a game and then next game you'd go and win it 3-0. Do you think that had an influence on Haywards Heath with the pressure you put on them? Because towards the end, when they lost the game, they then lost another game and then another game. And that's when you become in that spiral of losing and the habit, it becomes hard. So for you, was that lose to win game or kick on for the next game, was that as important for you as anything in the season?
Yeah, I think, like I said before, we never spoke about it. I think that we had, where I said before that we were bursting with characters. Like no one would accept that before. So like now we fix it. Like I said before, like we write that off, but now we go again. And that was, and I think if someone's breathing down your neck and you're feeling it, like you're going to be like, okay, you're one mistake away. You're always one mistake away. Whereas we didn't need to make mistakes because we were just steamrolling at that point. Do you know what I mean? And if we slipped up, the characters in the side would step up. And that's what I go back to is that where we were bursting at the seams with them, that they sort of stood up and be counted when they needed to be.
So then that constant pressure you put on them, do you think that had effect on them mentally for their players?
100%, 100%. At one point, it was a one-horse race. It was a one-horse race, and it was let's pick out the playoffs. And we had, like I said before, our mentality was this: nothing's done. We play. We're turning up Saturday, and we're going to win, and then we'll do the same next week, and we'll do the same next week, and let's see where we're at the end of it. And then, like, huge credit to everyone, like. Not even just like the players, the coaching, like the club, everyone. There was no ever any talk of it. It was just like, yeah, let's go again. And the crowds were getting bigger. The support was always there, and it was amazing. Like the whole. I said to the lads before, we'll look back at it one day, and you think like you look at the league table, and like you don't realise when you're going through it what you're going through until the end of it. You're like, okay, well that was pretty impressive because. Like who can make up that amount of points in a season? Not only make them up, but then go on to go 6 clear of that. Like,
I didn't think you could do it.
No,
I probably said that.
I did.
No, that was it from me, guys. But I just want to congratulate you, Hammy. Well done, a brilliant job. You know, it's a hard league to win, as Mike said earlier. Hats off, you've done an amazing job, and I think the best team won in the end. The leagues don't lie. Best teams win the league. The crap teams get relegated. Hats off, mate. Well done.
I really appreciate that, mate. Thank you.
I've got one for you lads. Now you're both not in the league. Yeah, you're both not in the league. I want to know who you both think will win the SCFL Prem, and who's your dark horse.
So looking at. Are you going first, Steve?
I'll go first. My dark horse is Isthmian United.
Oh, that was mine.
I agree with that.
That was mine.
But I think they need to start because every last couple of years
they
don't start quick.
Though, didn't they?
They start
they
shit.
Always start shit.
But they go through like a 25-game unbeaten run every year, and then they fall apart at the end sometimes. But if they start right this year, because I think last year they lost we beat them the first game of the season at their place, and I think they went unbeaten for the next 18 home games, I want to say.
And they're signing some proper players.
Yeah, some proper
They've
forwards as
kept
well.
a few quid in the bank. Do you know what I mean? So who wins it then, Dion?
Oh,
And then we're going
it's split up between if East Grinstead do it properly, and I mean do it properly and not like basically what Jesus done, or I'm going to say Roffey.
Roffey?
Mm.
I mean, Naz has gone in there. Naz is a great coach. Absolutely. Coach,
and some of the signings they made as well. It's Tom Captain's come back, and obviously Jordan Mays. They've got Ev there, and I think once they sign a couple more, which if they do, the way he plays football, especially at Horson's pitch, I just think, there'd be another little dark horse, I reckon.
Hammy?
I've got Eastbourne United as a dark horse. Like they were good last year.
Everyone's got that. The radar's gone.
Yeah, and like I say, they've made some good signings. They've kept some really good players there. Strengthened. They're a good side. And then going off of the back of what East Grinstead, who they're signing, I'll back them to win it. You look at their back line that they've signed. Like, are they going to concede a goal? This is like do you know what I mean?
That back line's good enough to play step through easily. It's mental.
Yeah. So that's who I put my money on. I'm glad I'm not involved in that league this year because obviously you've got Hassocks in there, you've got Eastbourne United, you've got Roffey, East Grinstead, like some real top teams there. So I think.
I reckon this is the toughest league for them to win in a decade.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
So that's where I put my money.
Wicked. Gaz?
I've got two more, one for each of you. And I'm going to make it a thing this year. And then Dion, I've got one from you from Sean Cully. Prime fish up front.
Fish.
Prime fish up front.
It's PG.
It's PG, don't worry. Prime fish up front for you from Valley FC. Would you have beaten Worthing United?
Worthing United, I'll tell you what, they're a good team.
I don't think
as well.
They knocked us out the RUR. They're a top side.
Yeah.
Fish, what are you
not
doing,
to be snuffed at.
I think basically what
do
you said.
Do you know where this has come from? I'll tell you this now. This is where it's come from. So in pre-season, we had Worthing United. Yeah. And Hammy said to me the day before, every 2 goals we score, if we were to win or score, we put 100 quid behind the bar. So I text Fish saying, basically, our gaffer said this. Fish. And I think, well, they played fucking unreal. We scored 2 goals.
We drew 1-0.
Yeah, we drew 1-0. Yeah,
cheap night for me.
Yeah.
Do you know what, right? I credit Fish, yeah. Fish was the first ever Dugout Diaries episode I did. Everyone said to me, do not get him on. He's the problem. He's had this. I love the guy.
Yeah, he's
you know what? Immediately, those downloads went bang, 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 bang. I credit as being one of the guys that actually set all this going. So, Fish, you know I love you out there.
You can't see the comments he's put in on Instagram, but he's basically said, I pocketed Dion in that pre-season game.
Yeah. Shit his pants, didn't he?
Yeah.
And one final one for each of you. Tea or coffee?
I do love tea, but I'm in coffee at the minute, so yeah.
Yeah, well done, boys.
Guys, did Stenning win the top burger again?
They did. Yeah. You're a triple winner, mate.
They're a triple winner.
Water's wet. Water's wet.
Yeah. We'll talk about that more a little bit later. But guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate
it.
I'm sure we'll see you on the touchline at some point, Hammy, and Dion. I'll be over at Little Hamilton at some point.
He'll still be on the touchline with all his fans. He'll be next to me.
Be next to Macca drinking.
Hey, I'll come and see you. Get that sportsman filled up. Tell Mac to get it all laid up for me, yeah. And tell Mitch and Gaskin I'm coming down early doors because this guy, by the way, is one of the guys I'm sponsoring this season.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's true, isn't it? It is true.
Love it.
Come on, lads. Thank you so much for coming on. Double winners, Hammy and Jarvis. Thank you for coming on the SNLF show. Take care, boys.
Cheers, guys. You're smashing it. Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
God, lads, I think we need to go to a little hydration break.
Hey.
How'd you leave then?
Hey.
He's got the camera. How'd you leave? You just.
How'd you leave?
Just press the bottom. There you go.
He's worked it out. We're all good.
Lads.
I'd say
8th July.
we got it, lads. I tell you what, blimey, what a bunch they are. Do you know what I mean? Literally, double winners there. Jarvis, Hammy, you know, proper two things. They did the bits over at Stenning. To be fair, what a season where they brought in, you know, Hayward Heath pushed them all the way. YM, Peacehaven went up, Guernsey. We got to do it all again, lads. So I think we need to sit back for 1 second, take that hydration break, and chill.
Oi, you buying that or just window shopping? Dugout 90, mate. Keep the lads hydrated. Buy a can.
Right, we're back. Whew. Well, first and foremost, thanks to everyone that's seen, because the numbers already for people on here are incredible. It must be these two down here, because it ain't me and him. I say,
Well, I don't know.
either that,
Yeah.
or
Right.
Dion's been in the group chat texting all his mates saying, "Come on there," and there's old Fish in the background. He's been retweeting it, guys.
Are you ready?
Get into the show.
Let's get into it. We're only an hour in. Let's get going. Right, we got a new division in our midst this year.
I love you, Hollis. Well,
we got a
massive
new.
part of Stenning's success, that guy.
You just pointed to Grant on my screen.
No, I meant Jamie Hollis. Jamie, though, sort out your hair, lad, though. Do you know, I know mine's bad, mate, but when I saw you at the weekend, you need to sort that out. Anyway,
I know the feeling. Come on.
Come on. Right, Grant's got to work early in the morning.
That sounds like a him problem. What's going on?
I've got to go and do my hair.
We got a new league. We got a new league in our midst. Worthing got promoted last year.
They did. They did.
So now we're going to be covering.
Who said that they were going to get promoted?
You did.
That's all right.
Well done. I didn't. I owned it with John Meaney at the end of last season. I said I didn't think you're going to get promoted. I didn't think you're going to make playoffs. So I owned it. Right. We're going to look over the National League this year.
Okay.
Tough ask for Worthing.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough ask for Worthing. Of course it is. But it's a year of progression, isn't it?
Yeah, but I've heard people speak about it in the past, right? They're going from, and Grant, I'm going to come to you in a minute. They've gone from regional football now to national football.
Mm-hmm.
Grant, you've done something similar, going from local football to regional football in terms of going from step 5 to step 4.
Yeah.
I have heard, especially more with the National League South and the National League, it's more like jumping up 1.5 divisions, maybe 2 divisions, as opposed to just going up the 1. I'd assume it's the same going from 5 to 4 because the players are bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. It is massive. And that was one of the questions, but we ran out of time. I was going to say to Hammy, how does he think Stenning are going to do? Because obviously I did that step and the gap massive. And I actually think, and that's the question, is the gap between National League South and National League the biggest in not just non-league football, but even including up to League 2, League 1. I think it's a huge step. That going from a regional South to a National League.
Yeah.
You sort of almost, you are. I'm talking about it like so many teams are full time. Are they going full time?
Worthing are full time.
Yeah, I know. Right, yeah, but I know they can compete on the budget, but I think they're going to do all right. I think the players they've recruited are all National League level and have played at National League and have played hundreds of games at National League level. For anyone to go up at that, it's keep the core of what you've got, which they've done, and then they've added experience from that National League, 4 or 5 players. And, they've got some fantastic players that they've got in, Noor Hassan, that people are going on about him, the great player, and is he going to do anything? But for me, I think their biggest signing will be that Tariq Clark. I think he's an outstanding player. I think
he's proper.
I think him and Noor in the middle of that pitch, mate. That's a 2 centre midfield as good as they'll get in that league. So I think Hinch has managed at a good level.
He's managed in that division.
He's managed that division. Absolutely, he's got players from that division.
And wasn't he near? He was either first or second.
Second.
Yeah.
When they left as well, he was flying, wasn't he?
So not when he left, but they obviously York went up last year, which is when he was there.
The only manager to get 2 teams promoted in that same season, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that the reason he got sacked is because they weren't going to go up. But look, yeah, he did get 2. He managed 2 teams that got promoted last year. But Grant, yeah, like you were saying, I think it is a massive jump. It will be a massive jump, and there could be some sort of culture shock as well, especially as for a club like that, they've gone into the professional game now, and no drinking view of the pitch, so there's going to be a different atmosphere around the game.
That's shit. Well, no, it is, because like me and Gaz, we're from Worthing, yeah. We've grown up. Gaz was there at 100 people turning up when the club was about to fold, and we can rock in there, walk 2 minutes down the thing, and have a beer on the side. You can't do that now.
There's a thing called a Stanley Cup, mate. Pour it in there, decant it in, put the lid on, drink it through a straw.
I don't know what you mean.
There you go. Exactly. There's always a way around it, boys.
Matt,
I can remember years ago going to see my daughter at primary school in a play. I took a Stanley Cup full of gin and tonic with a lid on, drinking it in the play because I didn't want to go and watch it. That's a little secret there. Don't tell the missus.
Well, everyone knows now. There's probably there's over 750 people that know now, mate.
Yeah, they don't know my missus. That's fine,
Social
mate. But
services
anyway,
will be on to you.
Anyway, yeah. Look, it is a big jump, but I think they've recruited brilliantly. They've kept the core. For me, it will be the travel, as you said, Gaz. For me, it's the ones that have played in that league. They'll be fine. It's the ones that are at Worthing now that are not used to that travelling, going up and playing on a Monday, Tuesday night or Wednesday night, whenever it is, and staying overs. It's a full-time job now. But I generally think they'll do well. I generally can see them finishing mid-table. I can see them finishing 8th, 10th, 12th. I can generally see them doing that because they've got that experience. They've got the budget. They've got to pull the players in. Hinch can pull the players in. If they're struggling come November, December time, he'll get some players in. I'm sure of it. But I generally think they got a good chance of finishing 8th, 10th. I really do.
Okay, I'm going to make a note of that. I'm making notes of all the predictions tonight, so we can put them back up. All right.
Yes. So,
talk to me. What's your opinion on it? What have you got?
It's a hard one to say, right? You look at last season, and 2 of the newly promoted teams last season, Truro and Brackley, went straight back down. The other 2, Scunthorpe and Boreham Wood, were in the playoffs, and Boreham Wood were about 5 minutes away from getting back-to-back promotions, right? So when you look at it like that, yes, it's a big jump, but if teams prepare correctly and go in with the right mindset, clearly you can have success. I think Worthing, it is going to be a big jump for them. Obviously, they finished last season really strongly. They beat like promotion rivals Dorking. They thrashed Dagenham and Redbridge 7-2. But it is a big step up. I think they'll survive. When I look at the National League, and I think, are there 4 worse teams than Worthing? I think, yeah, there are, or 4 teams that are going to struggle more than Worthing. Yeah, I think there are. So I think they're going to be safe. I don't think they're going to be spectacular, which is nothing against them, right? Because it is a big step up. And I think the teams that do go up and stay up, that is an achievement in itself, right? So even if they're finishing the season like 17th, 16th, I still think that is a strong first season at the National League after promotion. So that's sort of where I'm expecting to see them. But that, I would say, should still be considered quite successful, right? When you look at the picture.
17th and 16th, yeah?
Yeah, I think in that sort of region, right? And again, I think that isn't as bad as it sounds on paper, right? Because, like I say, you've got 2 teams last season that went up and went straight back down. Truro never in it at all. They're on like 12 points for most of the season. So, yeah, it's not easy. So if they do that, I think that's something they should be pleased with, really.
Okay.
I think that's a really good analysis of that. I mean, for me, living here, living in the region, growing up in the region, seen the really crap times, and now see the good times. I'm thinking 14th to 12th. That's where I'm saying. I think Matt's right. There are at least 4, maybe 5 or 6 that are certainly worse, if not on a par. But that is progression. I think if you offer Worthing the chance of staying up in that league, maintaining that status, first year back, first year up, they'd bite your hand off. They really would. The club have got, we know, Gaz, behind the scenes, the club have got a clear progression stage in what they want to do.
Yeah.
They're handled extremely well in there. They've got the right directors there that want to push on. They've got the right coaching staff. If they can bring that in with the right players to make it work, they can have a great season. Because I tell you what, the fan base they have there is phenomenal. Regularly,
they pack it out, mate.
Always pack it out. And I tell you what, there's room for growth as well. If they can get the planning, and there's certain ways where they can extend the ground on, they can really even kick on again in maybe 3 years' time or whatever. I'm excited that they're in there. I think the club are in great hands off the pitch. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot too much, but I think
on the first show back.
No, because I've done that a few times, but I own it. I always own it. But yeah, 14th to 12th, I think that would be phenomenal. That really would.
And I think as well, right, if they trust some of the players that they had last season, and they have some very good players there, one season in the National League, right, experiencing the culture, the travel, the spectacle of it all, that will help so much to those players, right? One season will change so much. So you survive one season, you've got all that experience going into the next season, and that's when you build on it. So I think survival really obviously has to be the goal, and it's so different that they'll learn so much from that to push them forward, right?
I mean, look at Starboy Brad. Do you know what I mean?
He's
absolutely
immense.
Absolutely one of the most electric youngsters in that league that will obviously go on to play much higher, and a supporter of the show, been on our show, great guy, a lad I love. I'm hoping, do you know what I mean?
One of the most humble guys you've met as well, right? After full time, on the last game of the season, obviously,
I was on the pitch, wasn't I?
Yeah, so was I. I happened to run into him, right? And I've met the guy a handful of times. Honestly, the biggest hug I've got off anyone that day was from him. I think it's just, like we're both, me and Mike are both Worthing boys. I've been watching Worthing 25, 26 years. Like, for me, I was 13 when I went to my first game. I'm 39 in a few months' time. So, like,
really? You had a tough paper round, lad. You're only 30, really? You're only 39.
That's the pot calling the kettle black, isn't it?
Mate, I'm 64. Look at me. I used to use oily Ulay back in the day. My nan used to give it to me. Look at his skin. Look at me.
Look, I'm going to go 13th, 15th, similar to what Mike sort of said, around that sort of area. I think anything out of the relegation zone is success.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, they've recruited well. And just quickly, I'm going to bring it up. Joel Colbrand, right, staying at the club, signed on for another season. Has he, I'm pretty sure he has played at every level of non-league football.
Probably. You're probably not.
He was at Loxford as well, wasn't he? He did Loxford when he was younger. I'm pretty sure he's played at every step of non-league football. Matt, there's a little bit of homework for you.
We can find out for next time. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Some achievement, if so, right? But it's definitely possible.
Yeah. Right. Let's move on. We've talked about them.
Did you not ask Eddie Earn's cousin where they're going to finish? Did he ask you, Grant?
Of course he did. I was first one, mate. I said 8th, 10th, 12th. I hedged my bets.
Oh, sorry,
4
mate.
places.
Sorry, mate. It was so unbelievable. I just went over my head. Sorry.
We'll see at the end of the season, mate. We'll see.
Mate, if they get 8th, that's just out of playoffs.
I know.
I'd rather finish 7th. Yeah, Russ.
To be fair, Russ, big supporter of the show. He's been going Worthing, well, since he was
Yeah.
You know, knee high to a grasshopper. Shout out Russ, big supporter.
Well, Russ, 8th, 10th, 12th is mid-table, mate. So here we go.
Yeah, 8th, 10th, 12th, 14th, 16th. He's covering all bases.
It's called spread betting. Yeah, spread betting.
Lifetime season ticket holder. Shout out, Russ. Right,
let's Russ.
Let's move on to the National League South. Horsham.
League South.
Have you done that? Horsham, only club we've got in there.
Managed by a guy who I grew up with, his first ever managerial role, Dom, was the mighty Worthing Albion. We started a Sunday side when we were like 17 years old. Yeah. We won everything. Then he went on to Climping. Then he went on, won that. Then he went to East Preston, won all that. You know, and now the guy is the most successful manager in Horsham's history, and they are lucky to keep him. They really are.
And do you know, every year that he has been at Horsham, they've finished higher in the league. They finished higher every season he's been there.
When he was about 14, 15 years old, that guy had stats of players. Bearing in mind, this is like mid-90s, yeah? Right? He had stats of players on his wall, bedroom wall. The bloke was always destined to be a manager. I'll tell you what, he weren't a bad player either. Nice left foot.
You two the same age?
Yeah, we played all through the same youth teams and the reps teams and everything like that.
He looks about 10 years younger than you.
I think Gazzy's having a dig, Mike. That's what he's on about.
The caveman, the Captain Caveman next to me. Are you having a laugh? Do you know what I mean? Right? But his brother Seb, he was a hell of a player. Me and him used to play centre half, and Dom, we let him play in a free within the thing. But yeah, love Dom, doing great things at Horsham. Where are they going to finish?
Last season, they finished 15th. They started really, really strong and then sort of fell off as the season.
They were looking at promotion and playoffs, weren't they? They were.
Yeah.
You know, anything above that relegation would have been a success for them.
Yeah.
100%.
Right, Matt, I'm coming to you first.
Yeah, I mean, you've touched on what I was going to say. Last season, really impressive. Trailed off a little bit towards the end. But I think, you know, they were never at risk of relegation at any point. So that is kind of, you know, you can see how that's happening. They've got nothing really to play for in the last month or two. I think they've made some good signings so far. Neil McManus from Dorking, I quite like him. They've got Howells back in goal as well. So I think they will push on, not by a lot, but I would say top half, definitely. Sort of 10th, 11th.
11th, that's going in.
And I think that, again, that would be a really good result for that club and the resources that they have to push on that little bit more. And then who knows, you know, 1-2 more seasons down the line, you keep improving a little bit, they'll be in the playoffs, right? But yeah, what I've written down is safe if unspectacular. And that, again, is not a bad thing, right? I don't see them at risk of relegation whatsoever, right? I also don't necessarily think they're going to get promoted. Again, that's a strong season at that level, right?
Yeah, 100%. Go on.
Yeah, I think, you know, as we've all said, they had a good start to the season, but I think Dom, you know, says his 11th season there. He's done an unbelievable job, really. I think normally they have a quiet summer for me, Horsham. They sort of go about their business in a quiet way. Dom sort of sneaks under the radar, but I think this year, the players that he's gone and got out, I think they are very, very good players. They are, some of them are EFL quality. You've got Ashley Neasden, he's gone in there, he's proven goal scorer. Like you said, they've got Howells, they've got Manor, Silver, Taylor, got some great players they've got coming in. So I strongly believe that they really want to kick on from last season. You know, I really do. I think for them, step 2, they want to really aim for step 1. I think they're a very ambitious club. So I'm with Matt. I definitely think they'll be aiming for the top half of the league without a doubt. And I think they can achieve that with the players that they've signed. I know they've lost a couple. They've lost the loanee guy, Gravatta, or whatever his name is. He's gone back to his loan club. Got supporters player of the year last year, so he'd be a big one to fill. But Ashley Neasden's gone in now, and I you know, he'll get goals at that level. I'm absolutely convinced of it. Local lad. Yeah, again, I think top half, 10th, 8th, 10th for me easily. They should be looking to achieve that this year.
For me, I think I might go a little bit higher. I think if you look at resources to where what you have available, yeah, I think Dom's really shrewd. I think he's shrewd. He's let a couple of players go this year. They've been key players to him. I think the goalie's gone as well, hasn't he? I think he's gone.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah. Fenlon went as well. You know, Dom can recycle players, bring players in. Look, don't be surprised. Do not be surprised if they have an outside shot at those playoffs. Do not be surprised. I tell you what, and looking at resources compared to other clubs, I put my money with him. You know, if it was on a level playing field and that. But yeah, I got faith. I got massive faith in Dom. I know there was big clubs looking at him. I heard that Borough were looking at him, Eastbourne Borough, and clubs like that. Do you know what I mean? And some certain other clubs. And he's been loyal. He stayed there. So there you go. I want him to do well. And by the way, those burgers up at Horsham, they are.
Yeah, I'm going back there this year.
Oh, aren't they?
I tell you what, quickly going back on Worthing, they brought in a new caterer this year, haven't they? Oh,
Jim
Dan
Jams.
Horn. Yeah, Jim Jams.
Yeah, Jim Jams, great catering. And I do say that someone just messaged me actually about the catering. Okay, I won't say who. Good friend of mine. But I said, I can't say anything about the catering because he's also the landlord of my local pub.
Yeah.
Okay? So, yeah, shout out Dan Horn and Jim Jams. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to going back there. I'm looking forward to it because the burger and the food there
was poor.
Has been diabolical. Diabolical. I was thinking of a better word to use.
I don't mince around. Nah.
And I got called out on that because I was like, look, the burger's shit. And it... But they're doing it for 4,500 or 3,000 or 2,000. When go to Horsham, are doing it for 15, 16, 1,700, and every single one of those burgers that leaves that hatch is of top quality and a top quality bun with decent cheese, and it is a good burger. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Dan does.
So am I. But whilst you're there, Gaz, are you bringing back that burger review?
Yeah, go on, load it up. We're changing it this year.
Go on then, lad. Tell me about it.
We're not going out of 10. Everything is out of 10, but it's a total score of 50. Burger patty, bacon, cheese, bun, and an overall score. Yeah, I'm changing it. We got the nice little winner from the last 2 years there.
We need to get the golden burger over to Stenning.
They've got a certificate up, I think, in their tea bar. No. I did make them a certificate and print it off for them.
Well, all due respect, yeah, certificates are something you get on an online course or you get at school. Do you know what I mean? I will send you over the golden burger, okay? And you can take that to your friends in Stenning. But whilst you're there, you know what they said, didn't you? You know you're the food guy.
Yeah.
What am I? I'm the beer guy. So, to compliment Gaz's burger review, we're going to, Dugout here is going to do a bar review. Okay? Because, to be fair, he spends more time in the bar than he does actually watching the games. Now, this is true. He's going to score out of 100. Now, a little thing here. You can only get 100 if you stock Dugout 90. Okay? Dugout 90 that's coming. And we're working with bar size, drink options, payments accepted, because it should be cash and card. For the people that just say it's just card, that's not old school enough. What's stocked, the shorts, the bar price, you got the nibbles and the service. So everyone that we do, burger review, bar review, we will come to your club and we will do the video, we will do it and we'll post it all on the socials. All right?
Imagine if we rock up together.
Well, it'd be carnage, mate, wouldn't it? It's going to happen multiple times.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah. Sorry. Where were we?
Right. My predictions for Horsham are playoffs. I've gone playoffs. Mike, what did you go? You saying playoffs?
I've gone to scraping the playoffs. Okay.
Scraping.
The playoffs. It doesn't matter. Ask Peacehaven.
Yeah.
Scrape in. Do you know what I mean?
Billy Wood gave it the Billy Big Bollocks about winning it, about Peacehaven. I
Shout out
called
to my boy Billy.
I called
He got them all
Peacehaven
right. And Billingshurst. And Billingshurst, he got right.
Yeah. Oh, finished. That's my last cruise campo as well. That.
Oh, mate.
If only I wasn't going to Spain on Sunday, eh?
Oh, look, but yours are little ones, aren't they? They're the little.
Yeah. No big
You'll
ones.
get the real big boy ones. Look.
Right, we're moving on, guys.
Where are we going next?
Isthmian Prem.
Oh dear.
Right.
Oh, dear.
We've got Eastbourne Borough relegated from National League South. They finished bottom last year. Lewis, Whitehawk, Burgess Hill, Three Bridges. What are we saying? Burgess Hill finished 8th last year. Chichester 12th. Whitehawk 14th. Lewis, I can't read my own writing. And Bridges finished top of the National League, the South East. Where are we going? Who's going to finish highest?
What out of Bridges? Out of Bridges, Burgess Hill, and
Eastbourne Borough, Lewis, Chichester, Whitehawk.
Well, look, Eastbourne Borough have to finish above everyone. Yeah, that's. Let's be honest. They shouldn't be in that league. Yeah, through whatever happened. Bearing in mind, and shout out to Statman Chris. He said that they had the youngest starting squad at the beginning of the season. And unless you're Alex Ferguson, do you know what I mean? The old saying, can't win with kids, and I do believe you can. They got it wrong. What didn't happen was the communication between the club and the fans deteriorated all the way through. Yeah, loads of bad stuff. If they don't win that league, that club could really be in trouble. Do you know what I mean?
And you do see that a lot, though, don't you? But with clubs going down and getting relegated, getting into a spiral. It's clubs like Lancing have done it. Uckfield, sometimes they,
Oldfold.
Uckfield and Oldfold,
Oldfold,
yeah. So I think same like they've got to win it. They'll be favourites to win it. They've got big budget. They've got players. They've got good catchment area. I
think if they don't win it,
I think it'll be a big failure.
I agree. Now, the pressure's on them, but they've allowed that pressure to get on them. I think Burgess Hill, Gary Mansell in there, great owners, wonderful team. I think that's a club on the up, without doubt.
I mean, they were unlucky last season, missed out on goal difference on the playoffs. I think they lost like 2 of their last 3 games, bottled it maybe when it mattered most. But I mean, they showed enough across the season to, make me think that they're capable of doing the same. I think they're making some strong signings. I think there'll be playoffs this season.
I absolutely agree. And do you know what? If Gary's watching, I want to come down because I rate him. I rate him great. He's always had time for our brands, and always looked after when we're down there. I really hope so. I think that is a club that is on the up, and I've said it many times before. And then you got Bridges.
I think they'll do brilliant this year. They beat a lot of teams in the leagues above Sussex Cup. I generally think I've got Eastbourne first, Burgess Hill 4th, Bridges 6th. I generally think they'll finish around about there. Jamie done a brilliant job.
For me, for me could have gone potentially 2 steps higher. He's that good. I think.
They were untouchable last season, utterly untouchable. At no point was it in doubt from match 1,
But also as well for me though, Matt, it was the cut runs. The teams, the scouts they took in those cut runs.
Yeah, even up to the very final, mate. They weren't scared.
I was there for the Horsham game. Yeah. Shout out groundsman Keith Richardson. Love him. He knows I love him. At Three Bridges, right? I was there for that game and they thoroughly deserved it. Literally,
they didn't back down, mate. They gave it everything. They weren't playing scared, right? They, as you say, they deserved that. It wasn't some fluke on the counter, right? They were playing to win that game.
Yeah, and they're a young side as well. They're a young side.
Have lost
Sorry?
They have lost their captain from last
Yeah,
season.
but he didn't play, did he? Harvey didn't play many games. I know he was their club captain, but he was on the bench a lot last season. He was one of Brannan's kids in the under-18s. So he's now going to be guaranteed of football when he wasn't last year. Even though he was their captain, he didn't play many games and he was on the bench nearly all season. Yes, it'll be a loss for them because he's come through the ranks, and I'm sure Jamie didn't want to lose him, but he can't stop a lad playing football. But for me, the biggest compliment I can give Bridges is the fact that now we're talking about dark horses. I don't think there'll be dark horses even if they get in the playoffs. I think people are looking at them now thinking that they can do it. You know, the way they've set out, they've kept all their players, they've signed everyone. They're a brilliantly run club. You know, Paul Faley does a brilliant job.
I think Paul, the chairman, is a great
class.
chairman.
Yeah, he's class.
I really do.
But Hammy said it as well, and I know they do, because obviously at Forest Row, we were ground shared at Bridges. They train really hard. They use a full pitch. They work on patterns of shape. But they also then do meals after all the players then eat after the training. Have a meal. It is, and that's what I'm saying. And they're the little details that take you to the next level. Players do not leave there. No one wants to leave. I think Noel Leighton was offered £1,000 at Margate or something. He turned it down. It's something like, it's either Margate or Rams.
Wells and his lads on that bench there, his coaching staff.
Yeah.
Who all could go up a level. All of them. Yeah.
So I think they'll do well. So
he's got something special working there. I'm 100% sure of it. And I tell you what, I love to see it because Krellin has been a supporter of this brand. He's been on the shows. He's been there. He's been actually. You message him, bang. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He's like that. Shout out to Jay. Love him, mate.
I spoke to Krellin a few weeks ago about the Ace Football Academy. And their tournaments
with Nagel and Whitehead. Yeah. Great academy. Great academy.
Look, right, who's finishing highest?
I've got Eastbourne. Do you want my predictions so you can write them down?
I want your prediction of who's going to finish highest out of our clubs.
Eastbourne.
Well, to be fair, if anyone doesn't say Eastbourne,
okay.
Hang on, Matt's looking.
I think it has to be Eastbourne. If you'd have asked me at the end of last season how are Eastbourne going to do, I would have said they're going to struggle. Right, a lot of the communication and the vibes coming off of the club for most of last season, including the back end, was poor. Right, you know, they were really trying to lower expectations. However, when I see what they've done in the window so far, it looks like they're learning from some of the mistakes where they went too much in a young direction. Right, I think they're getting some of the experience they need. They've kept their manager so far in the off window, which is obviously going to help. Maybe.
Marmite, isn't he, Kingy? He's a bit of Marmite. I'm not a massive fan.
It's so funny because anything they post about him on their socials, it's split 50-50 down the middle, what people seem to think. But, I mean, obviously, he didn't do great. There were glimmers of hope at the end of last season, but I think by the time he joined, the damage was done. So give him a chance to see what he can do. But, I think they're going to probably win the league. And I think, as we've said already, that they have to because financially they can't afford not to. But looking at what they've done in the window, I think there's a lot more hope for Borough fans now than there was like 3 months ago. 100%.
They have done well, to be honest with you, to keep on some of their sponsors as well. I know they lost Norwegian Cruises, but they managed to replace Norwegian Cruises, who are their front of shirt sponsor, with Octopus Energy, who are arguably one of the biggest energy companies in the UK. Now, I have, maybe just to be a little bit different, come away from it. I've gone a little bit rogue. I genuinely think Whitehawk are in for a big season this season, with Jay Lovett going in there.
Mate, they've started and I know it's just pre-season, but they started it strong.
I had to do a hydration break. I heard Whitehawk was being mentioned.
Yeah, I think
a bit of cheese.
I think Whitehawk will finish highest out of our clubs this season, and that obviously pre-season's got something to do with it. It is only pre-season, but actually, I think Jay Lovett going in there will be an absolute game changer for that club. They've got the home advantage in terms of how shit the pitch is. Those players will play on that. They'll train on that. They've got, I can't remember what the gradient is on the downhill slope, but I've seen Whitehawk play.
It's so ridiculous, isn't it? It's on the steep slope.
Yeah. I played on it myself as a player when I had hair. That's how long ago it was, and it was always awful. It was even worse then. So as a player, it's a horrible
Well, that's when you
place
got a
to go
horse
and
and
play.
cart. That's when you got a horse and cart to train him, wasn't it?
Thanks,
Back
mate.
in those days.
But yeah, they create a horrible atmosphere in a nice way. They make it uncomfortable. Supporters and the ground, it's old fashioned sort of Wimbledon style where the changing rooms are a bit naff, and I'm sure they do the old trick by not turning the showers on and all that. I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me. But
it's all quite close, but far apart.
Yeah.
Russ Hawk's getting a whole new ground soon. I just think with Jay going in there, I think there's a whole new different buzz around the club. So they're my pick. Not
Gaz, I saw him Saturday, mate.
Did you?
Yeah, I was down there when.
Fucking saw everyone on Saturday by the sounds of it.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you go on the piss with Dean Cox and Steve Reiner.
Yeah.
Steve Colbert, to be fair. No, I was down there. I saw Jay. I was at Culver Road. Saw Lancing play Whitehawk. Now, it was 9-0. Okay. He's got some young players in there. On the other show, Billy actually tipped him for relegation. Yeah, he did. And I'm looking at that side, and that side ain't getting relegated. No way. Do you know what I mean? They look, and they didn't really even get out of second or third gear, mate.
Yeah.
You know, I'm loving the fact that Jay's back in management as well. You know, I said to him as well. I said, we need you back in there. And then obviously the Whitehall came on. So yeah, but interesting. They'll do 100%. Will do better than last year.
Yeah.
100%.
Sorry, guys. I was just going to say. I think it's just interesting now that we got 5 clubs in at that level now.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great for the county. It's great for our football to have teams. 5 teams competing.
100%. Yeah. And then we move down now to sort of step 4. We're going to move on from that now. You guys have all gone for Borough, haven't you? I'm the only one that's bucked the trend and gone for Whitehawk. Look, I think with Borough, I think they're.
Well, you've gone for Whitehawk to win it.
Not to win it, to finish at the highest out of our clubs.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you've had to cut the Cruz Campos, Mike. Cut the Cruz Campos.
Something
Gaz
still.
Gaz has been known to stick a shocker in there. All right?
Yeah. But
there's only doors, let him.
There's something seems like it might still be a bit rotten at Eastbourne Borough that makes me think, actually, do you know what?
There probably is, but
on paper, they've taken a goalkeeper away from a National League South side who will do well in the National League South to play part-time football in the Isthmian Prem. Now, I'm sorry, if you've got a chance to play National League South football and Isthmian Prem football, that's going to have something to do with it. And I just think maybe they're
tell you what's doing it, mate.
Too much.
Cheddar.
I think more than any team in the league, they need to start strong, Eastbourne Borough.
Yeah.
Right? They need the fans back behind them. They need belief across the team. And, you know, if you draw or lose your first couple of games and you've got everyone on your back, you've got everyone on, you know, King's back, I think they're in for a long season. So I think the first couple of games are going to be very, very interesting for them.
I think you're right.
And on that now, I agree. I think, but if they do start poorly, I think come the end of September, if they have, there'll be a change at the top. They won't.
Yeah,
they won't.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
If they're mid-table come September, there'll be a change. I'm sure of it.
Especially given, you know, the investment that's been put in, right? You know, they're going to expect results. So, yeah.
Shout out Ballum. Good support of the show.
Yeah. Right, let's move on to the Isthmian South Central. We've got Bognor, finished 11th after a really slow start last season. And you've got Littlehampton.
Come on, the goals.
They were relegated, but with a reprieve. Now, let's not get into this reprieve bollocks, because I think it's a load of bullshit. But they're there. They're still in that division.
I think
they got basically their reprieve was from someone in the northwest.
Yeah, look. Right, I understand this. Mitch, mate of mine, Littlehampton manager, he was ready to come down and, excuse my language, fuck up the Prem. He really was. You know, he would have assembled the Avengers down here. Last time he did it, they won the treble. Do you know what I mean? And got to the final, but look, it is what it is. He's in there. It's a lot of travelling in that league.
I think when you look at Littlehampton, right, you know, they got narrowly relegated or not last season. They finished 18th the season before that, 17th the season before that. You need to start looking and asking, like, right, what is fundamentally going on at that club where they can't push back on, right? And I think they've got two strong people in charge there, right? They've got a decent crop of players who they've managed to keep quite a few of. So the question has to be, like, what is going wrong there? Well, they can't quite seem to get out of this slump at the table.
Littlehampton, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, if you have you been to the Sportsman?
I have a few times.
So it sort of doubles up as a cricket ground, and it does. And to be fair, I got a lot of ribbing because I was actually playing cricket 2 weeks ago at the Sportsman, whilst the Littlehampton boys, including Jarvis and all that lot, were training, giving me a bit of this, right, and that. But they've never had the resources. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not saying here. I know roughly what their budget is, yeah. And you look at it and go, no way, not at all. I tell you what, Mitch and Gaskin have had to beg, borrow, and steal to get. You think they're getting Dion Jarvis and players like that, yeah, who have had offers from clubs that are above them. Do you know what I mean? And he's playing for that. Nah, they've done well, and I know the chairman there, I know the committee members, and that it's not a fair playing budget if you put it that way. In that way, yeah. And there's a lot of teams around this catchment area, especially with your Bogners, your Worthings, people like that in and around. It's tough, but they will certainly do much better than they did last year.
I think when you look at the players they've signed, you're probably right. And I'm sure I've read something somewhere that they're separating the facilities from the cricket stuff as well. I'm sure I read that earlier this week.
Yeah, I mean, there's
got some off-pitch stuff going on too.
There's a lot of work going on down there. There is. I mean, you know, let's not forget the team he had a few years ago were at Wembley. Do you know what I mean? And the one thing you'll get when you go down to the Sportsman in Littlehampton is you play against 11 players. You play against a 12th man in the fans.
Yeah. 100%.
I'll tell you that for one thing. You talk about ultras, those people start partying for that game on Thursday. Yeah. And then they turn up. And they're still partying Tuesday.
That's even away from home, Mike, as well. They take a lot away supporters.
They're proper. And I'll tell you what, George Gaskin, Mitch Hand are two managers, and they're joint managers, which, as you know, Grant, doesn't always work out at all, yeah? They are two that are probably the most unsackable in that league. And I know that because I know the belief that the chair people and the committee have in them, without a doubt. Yeah. They are Mr. Littlehamptons. You know, they were born in it. So it's different. It's very tribal. And hence what Dion was saying. You know, there's characters that get walked over in that thing.
And they brought in a lot of like Harry Heath is there this season. Like, scored last night. That ex-Stenning. You've got Dion Jarvis gone there, ex-Stenning. They're going to have a core nucleus of players who will do well. They brought in Charlie Robinson, great centre midfielder, done well at Wick.
Charlie scooped all the awards last year.
Yeah,
right. The guy that I had myself this year, I'm sponsoring him as well. His dad, I'm good mates with his dad, Stu Robinson, big supporter of the show. He won Players Player of the Year, Managers Player of the Year, Supporters Player of the Year. 3 awards, you know. So Wick can't moan that he's gone sideways. He's gone up.
Yeah.
There's some there.
Yeah.
Great player, great centre half. Tejan Sparks, great centre half. I had him. Ben Hack, signed him when he was 16. Great player. Do you know what I mean?
It's great. We can spend all day on this, but it's 9:45 and we've still got a shitload left to do.
Okay.
Isthmian South East, Broadbridge Heath, Eastbourne Town, Crowborough, Hastings, Peacehaven, and Stenning. Last year, Eastbourne Town finished highest. Hastings finished 17th. Now, Hastings have already had their pants pulled down by a player who signed for them in June.
I'm not sure they wanted him.
Sonny Walsh.
Sonny Walsh signed for them in June. Can't sign players in June. They announced it and then had to retract that and announce that he'd left the club, and has since turned out he's gone back to Eastbourne Town.
I'm not sure they wanted him.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, Hastings lost the manager as well. I think I could see them struggling this season. I saw them play last season. I saw them play away at Crowborough, and it felt more like a home game for Hastings, the amount of fans they brought with them. Like, they've got some proper passionate support. But there were times last season where you started to think, like, you know, could they drop into the relegation zone, right? And, you know, they were well safe of it in the end. But have things improved for them so far in the off-season? Or have they stayed the same? Or have they got worse?
Aren't they getting that new pitch, though, this season? They're having
not this season.
Oh, because I remember going down there last year, and they were talking about turning the pitch around and having a 4G and all that sort of stuff. So
absolutely correct. Gone through planning permission and stuff like that, but I don't think it'll be this season.
So they're still on that pitch. Okay, but again, it's a tough place to go. You know, as a manager and an away team, you know, the changing rooms are like a bloody prison cell. It's all concrete and stainless steel. It's not a nice place to go from an away point of view. Their support is always great down there. You know, Billy's gone back in there. I reckon he'll get the buzz back. You know, he was chairman of that club which got promoted, and I know he's sort of he's not manager, but he's behind the scenes with the club and he's director of football. Yeah, so I think they'll kick on this year. I really do, with him back behind the scenes, causing ruptures and moving them forward like he always does. I think they'll have a much better season than they did last year, and I think they could finish highest out of our teams. I think in that league.
Wow. I couldn't argue against Grant. You know, I'm close to Billy. Yeah, I know him very well. I know what he's got thing. I know what he's got coming up as well. A couple of players he's got coming up, which I'm not fucking up their contracts on there now. But they know they needed to change. They know it was getting rot. They know they needed communication. Good things happening in that club. There really is. It needed change. And shout out to Dave Altendorf that kept him up. It was really good. You know, great. Shout out to Dave. Great guy. You know, he's over at Lewis now. But look, don't write off. Look, if you think Hastings is going to be in a relegation battle next season, you're wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
I think, Matt, you go, and then I'll give mine.
No, I mean, I don't think they're going to be in a relegation battle. I think of the Sussex teams, probably Eastbourne Town, the team that I would put to be the highest of them. I think Peacehaven and Stenning, I think it's going to be tough. It's a tough league to go up. We've seen that last season with Sussex, who I think they were great last season, right? And it still wasn't enough. Just about, it wasn't enough, but it wasn't. So I think it's going to be a big step up for the newly promoted teams. I think Crowborough, my local team, absolutely love everyone there. Muggsy, great guy.
Shout out Muggsy. What's he done?
Last season, 13 of their 15 core team were local boys as well, right? I need to see some more from them in the off-season, see them retain some more, because I think that's what helped them make the step up. They surprised a lot of people last season who had them to go straight back down. I could see them. I know how ambitious he is. I spoke to him at the end of last season. He wants to push on the top half of the season. And from everything I've seen, I can believe that. Some of the scouts they took last season in the league and the cup, right, just beyond all expectations. So I think Crowborough, top half, but I think Eastbourne Town should definitely be in and around the playoffs, and probably the highest out of the Sussex teams.
I want to see Muggsy do well. Love him. Again, another one of the day oneers that did the Dugout Diaries series. I did his 500th game. So, yeah, shout out Muggsy. Shout out his boy as well, Henry.
Yeah. No, I echo that, mate. He was brilliant. In the opposition dugout against him many a time with Muggsy. Gentleman,
isn't he?
He's a proper gentleman. Shakes your hand, all fares in love and war. He'll have a row with you on the pitch, end of the game, have a beer, shake your hand. Absolute top bloke. I've got a lot of respect for him.
Love it.
I think he'll do well.
Yeah. Just quickly, Bognor have beaten Fareham 3-0 tonight in their pre-season game. And
One of the fridge played.
I don't know actually. I'm just looking at Bognor made wholesale changes second half, and Arundel goalkeeper Magic Cason played the second half for Bognor tonight.
Magic, but he lives over there, doesn't he? And he's involved in their coaching as well. Shout out Magic, great guy.
Yeah.
Great in the change.
Side thought there from Russ. I can't believe no one has signed Jack Spong yet. 100%. Where is he? I mean, could end up at Horsham.
Quite possibly.
It depends.
When it goes quiet though, there's stuff going on in the background, mate. I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Right, let's move on. Let's go to the County League. We're finally at the County League. Our bread and butter. It's only taken us 51 minutes.
It's been the opening show. We've had a lot to get through, mate.
Yeah,
you know what
I mean? This is how much preparation I've done. I've got the actual league table and every club that's in that league. This league, for me, this season, is going to be the toughest to call, and it will be the best league that we cover this season by a long way.
Is that the SCFL Prem?
That's the SCFL Prem, yeah.
It's
going to be the best league we cover.
I've gone on the record and says hardest league to win in the last day.
Yeah. Right.
Well, where are we starting now? We're starting in Div 1 or the Prem? Div 1.
We're starting in the Prem.
We're starting in the Prem, are we? Okay?
We're starting in the Prem, yeah.
You're running this show, mate.
Mate, we've done it in order. We've gone from step 1. We're on step 5 now.
Mate, yeah. Sorry, mate. I've had four cruiser campos, mate. You know, mate.
Right. So we had Billingshurst come up last season.
What's you saying that? Good shout. Good shout there, Gaz. Or whoever said that.
Well, there we go. I'm not just a pretty face. Tough paper around pretty face, but a pretty face.
Go
on. Look, there's some big teams in that league this year. You've got Hassocks, we've got East Grinstead. Lansing obviously stayed up. They're a big team. We'll see what they're going to do. Midhurst will do better this year after last year. They'll have got links.
I'll tell you what.
And that sort
of
thing.
Midhurst off at your peril.
Yeah.
I want to mention something about them later. By the way, after this,
Lingfield will be better this year.
100%. 100% Lingfield will be better.
Eastbourne United.
Yep.
Hayward Heath.
Rothby
were the next one I was going to.
YM.
Guernsey in their home form.
Guernsey. I was gonna give Guernsey one of their own, so Mike could talk about Guernsey.
But the beef is over. I won that.
New Haven as well. Like New Haven struggled a little bit last year, but they had a back four and a goalkeeper who were 18, 17 and 19. They're that year older. They got that year extra experience in that league.
I think we need to delve into this league, lads, because
I'll tell you what, we won't do it. We will next episode. We'll do a deep dive into this league. All right.
And can we tell the people, just whilst you mention that, when England beat Norway this week on Saturday, the semi-final is going to be on Wednesday. Okay. Now, don't take rocket science to work out that today's Wednesday and we have the show on Wednesday. That show won't happen because none of us will be here to host it.
I'm not even in the country, so.
And none of you will be watching it. So that will be the week after. Okay? But just letting everyone know for that.
I tell you, the episode that I'm on, we'll deep dive into the SCFL. Whether that because I won't be here on Wednesday no matter what. But next week.
Look,
Next
we're not losing to Norway, mate.
No. So we will deep dive into this one. I want one team before we deep dive from each of you.
Nah, you can't just give us one team because that's
one. No, who is going to win that league, and then we'll go into more into depth. Who's going to win that league?
Hassett.
Grinstead.
I think he's Grinstead.
E.G. Oh shit. Fucking hell, right.
What did you say, Matt? Hassocks?
Yeah, I could say a lot more, but we're not doing the deep dive, so I'll stay quiet.
Look. The deep dive will come the week after. Yeah, but that's a great shout, Matt. That is a great shout.
We've got Guernsey in the comments
there. I love the fact that they signed Carl Sim as well. I love that.
Mm. Well, you look when they won the league, when they went up, they pissed that league, didn't they?
Yeah, and
when they went up. When did they get promoted? February?
Hassocks are a proper club. Those Westlake boys, mate, I tell you what, they were on the radar of a lot of clubs.
Well,
they really were.
So my prediction, which I already have written down, was Hassocks as well. So
there you go.
Which is
my predictions are normally pretty shit.
When you look at how they ended last season, right? They were so unlucky to be like demoted, right? Relegated. We'll talk more next show. But
Kyle is a massive one.
Yeah, he is.
Big centre half. But not only that, he has got one of the longest throws I've seen of any player in the county league.
It is mad. It's ridiculous. Anywhere in that half, he can chuck it in the penalty area.
Yeah, it's mental.
Yeah.
And what's there about teams and that? Yeah, I had a good chat with one of the chairmen today. Yeah, I had a good chat with Midhurst chairman Tom today. Right, he has led the way, by the way, for what we're doing with the dugout water. Yeah, he's led the way for that on how they're going to do it, and he stepped up to the plate. So I want to shout out. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Shout out, Tom. I'm coming down to see you in the FA Cup. You know that, mate. You know
what's
that.
The dugout water, mate?
What do you mean? What is the dugout water?
What is the dugout water?
Well, basically, it's our way of giving back. Okay, I will purchase this drinks brand, okay, at X amount and take £1 over the cost. The rest goes to the club. They take all the profits in there. It's our way of being a marketing tool and getting that into clubs. There's a healthy alternative for the kids, sugar-free and everything like that, rather than these cans of Red Bull and stuff like that. I want all the clubs to take all the profit. Yeah, we're going to buy.
Where's it come from? Sussex Spring or Peckham Spring?
It's actually Henfield. It's a Henfield natural spring in there. It's passed all the validations, everything like that. Now, I want to shout out quickly, whilst we're there, the clubs that actually in the last 3 days have supported me. Yeah? These clubs on here that have signed up. Midhurst have signed up. Shoreham have signed up. Infinity have signed up. Westfield have signed up. Lancing have signed up. Pagham have signed up. Hastings have signed up. Worthing United have signed up in the last 3 days. Them ones there have signed up and given it the profits back to Sussex non-league football. We're going to make no money on this. This is your chance to do that. Okay? I want clubs back in this. I want another 5 clubs next week. Do it.
Well, there's East Grinstead and Crowborough there, so come on, guys, put your finger out.
Get it in there. £13 a case. Yeah, £13 a case. 24 cans, 330ml of the drink. And in September, I've got 5 new flavours coming. I've got strawberry, lemon and lime, orange, tropical, and bubblegum. Okay, all sugar-free for the kids. And you scan on the back, it's got all the podcasts like you're watching now and all the other products we do. Thank you to those clubs there.
I'll tell you where else
week-
it's going to be stocked.
Go on.
AM Coffee Co.
AM Coffee, founder of the coffee. So these clubs here are back in the movement. Once again, Midhurst, Shoreham, Infinity, Westfield, Lancing, Pagham, Hastings, Worthing United. They're doing that and they're backing it. That's
Aaron.
our way of giving it back. And every week, I'm going to add new clubs to that do it. And I'll be honest, right? Because we don't have sponsors this year. I think this is quite a right time to tell this, Gaz. Yeah? We don't have sponsors this year. Right? Yeah? We're funding this ourselves. Right? That's how it is. And that's why we need people to buy into what we're doing. Otherwise, what's the point? I'll go and sit on the beach. Me and Gaz will go fishing or something like that. Me and Grant will go to the barbers. Well, I'll go to the barbers. All right? Do you know what I mean? So it's clubs like these down here. But Tom, he actually went there and he led the way this morning and he knows why he done it. Shout out to Kelly at Pagham. Shout out to Jody at Infinity over there. Thank you, guys. And I'll tell you what, these guys need help. They'll get the help before anyone else. Do you know what I mean?
Aaron Field, how do we get involved?
How do you get involved? Aaron, you drop me a message. I send you a case. Free case. Still it there. Over there. And you do. Just drop me. Aaron, you got my digits, mate. You got my digits. Give me a call. Do you know what I mean? Give me a call.
Let's have like boats with 3 phones, mate.
Here,
mate,
there'll be a knock on his door at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Yeah. The whole Bill has seen he's got 3 phones.
Every time a new club comes on there, bang. And I'm going to go in there, and those are the clubs we're going to go and see first. Sorry, guys. Crack on.
Right. We're going to move before we go into Div 1. We're going to.
Who wins it? No, but who wins it, and who's the underachiever?
No, we're going to talk about this in depth. I just want to win.
You're going to deep dive next week.
We'll go deep dive that league, and we'll deep dive Div 1 as well at another point because that's got 20 teams this year. But I'm going to get a winner off you for Div 1 in a minute. But just quickly, a shout out to Mile Oak, who put a club appearances thing out last week, end of June. So the club appearances, 150 plus appearances for Jack Merriott and Jack Jeffrey. 100 appearances for Chris Whittington, Alex Masters and Liam Dance. And 50 appearances for Archie Russell, Wes Teague, Liam Smart, Harry Robbins, Zach Cladis, Louis Peach and Aaron Lockwood. Now, we all know how difficult it is for clubs to keep hold of players in non-league. It's very rare that you will see 100 appearances for a club, even more rare that you see 150. We had a few last year that was 200 and 250, I think, but it's so rare. Shout out to Mile Oak for keeping hold of those players for that many times, for that many games.
100%. They're doing something right.
Got a lot of time for Mile Oak as well, because Dougie became the first AI bot to sponsor a football team as well. Shout out to Dougie. Spending all my fucking money.
Especially as it's not the most comfortable place to play football and get changed in.
No.
We get finding players like Rob O'Toole.
I know, mate, yeah.
You know
we had to get changed in shifts there. We couldn't get the whole squad in the changing room. We had 7 in the car park, 7 in the change. We had to rotate it all, mate. Unbelievable. But yeah, that's a great achievement. Great achievement to have that sort of commitment from those players for that long. Hats off.
Go on, Food Guy. Right. Don't do that, Food Guy. You know what this show's about. Don't just put in the private chat. I've just had an interesting.
We'll talk about it
in
a minute. Who's going to win? Right, Div 1. Who's winning Div 1?
Infinity.
You stole my pick. I had a toss up between Infinity, and this might ruffle some feathers. I think Hailsham are going to go really well. They were fucking untouchable last season. They were so good, right? Even with Rustington snapping at their heels the whole time. I think if they keep their core, I think Callum Standish, great manager, chatted to him in the past. I could see them going really well. But I honestly, Hailsham, Infinity are the two that I've got written down for the top. And as Grant stole Infinity, I'll just go with Hailsham. Why not?
Now, the only reason why, though, Matt, is obviously when I was at Forest Road, we beat them in the playoff final. And then obviously they got in the playoff final again this year. So they're keyed up for it. They're now experienced. They've now run that race twice now, right to the final hurdle. And that hurts, I'm telling you. So they will be chomping at the bit. They're great guys there. They got good investment.
It's the logical next step, right? Isn't it? You know, they've come so
I tell you what, right? I'm close to that camp, right?
Yeah.
And I have an interest with a couple of lads down there. Okay. And he won't want me to say Infinity either.
Are you going to say it?
Well, look, I don't know nothing about Clanfield. I don't know nothing about Dial Square.
Right.
No, we don't.
Before you give yours, I'm going to give mine. Walcountians.
Nice shout. Well, but Guildford City are coming into there as well.
Yeah.
When I was at Arundel, I was played them. We beat them over there. Don't know what they can be. Don't write off Low Edward Salt, Dean.
No.
Right, but I tell you what, there'll be eyes looking at Infinity, and Jodie can send me a message in a minute and say, "Fuck's sake, Mike, don't say that." I know that that's a club that's got big plans, yeah. And look, last couple of seasons, it's got to that. You know, it's going to be there. Worthing United will be there as well. I think they let themselves down in the playoffs. They really did.
They are a great team. At that league, they actually probably play the best football.
I saw a goal Danny Kingston scored today against Haywards Heath yesterday. Sooty sent it through to me. Already a contender for like goal of the season. And by the way, shout out to Connor Hall, who's brought this on. We're going to do a goal of the month competition as well. Yeah, that's going to be happening. Shout out Connor for that. But yeah, look, I think Loxwood have recruited well.
Yeah. They're my dark horse pick. If
they won't be where they were last season, mate. No way. I worry about Reigate Priory. I do, because Dale's a great guy, but he's lost a few players and he's a fucking great coach. Selsey, I don't know.
I worry about Ringmer a bit. I think they struggled a lot towards the back end of last season. They've lost Tommy, who I think is a very strong manager. They've got some great off-pitch facilities. Their bar area, if you go and do your bar review there, I reckon they could score quite highly, you know.
Where's that? At where?
Ringmer.
Oh, yeah, mate. We went there we went to Caburn a few times, mate. We love that bar, mate.
They got a few. They got a good food offering there as well. But
I'll tell you one team that won't be where they were last year, and that'd be Shoreham.
Shoreham, yeah.
I think they beat a Forest Row 11 last night, didn't they?
No.
Or am I not supposed to say that? Sorry.
I don't know.
I think it was 6-4.
Right.
But Shoreham won't be nowhere near as bad as they were last year. No way. No, not at all. But I don't know.
This could be another deep dive. Maybe we'll do two.
I think the County League actually warrants it, Gaz.
The we'll do
Div 1. Warrants us giving a bit of more time to.
We've got a few more weeks till the season starts, so maybe we'll do one week and we'll do another the following week.
I want to go into the next show we do, because look, it's unlikely it's going to be Wednesday, because England are already going to be battering, I don't know, whoever it is, Switzerland or Argentina by then, before we get in the cup final. But we need to go. I want to go deep, Gaz. Can we go deep into them?
Yeah, we'll go deep.
I think Div 1 is another
deep.
I think it's another super close league, right, where it's going to be really hard to call the top. So I think it definitely warrants a closer look, 100%.
Maybe. I tell you what, come back to me for both of these. We'll talk it now. I want your league table, top to bottom.
Ooh. I can't give you that, mate. I can tell you who's going to be in the top 4 and who's going to be in the bottom 4.
Well, this is a good little content thing then, because in 9-10 months' time, we can put a little, you can, a video together Actually, Matt can, and we'll and we can go. Huh, that was shit. Or well done, that was good.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm interested to hear what Dial Square, Guildford City, and Clanfield. I'll tell you what, that Clanfield admin, we're gonna have some fun with him. He looks a proper one. He looks like he'll have a proper bit of a laugh. But,
do you know what? Out of everything, right? Shoreham obviously got relegated last year. I want them to do well, but part of me wants them to have a really shit season so the admin on the Twitter page has a fucking meltdown every week.
Oh, you leave my mate Jakey alone, mate.
I saw him at the IBB 10 live show. I had a chat with him. I said, I look forward to the Shoreham results every week just to see what you've done to go, nah, fuck it, I'm off.
Jakey B's admin of the year, mate. He is.
Yeah.
He's the only admin to get 6 million hits on one post.
Yeah.
Was that the Guernsey game by any chance?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
I'm not exactly
right.
it, mate. Anyone who's got that result would have been any club who did that.
Mate,
World Cup.
I love him.
World Cup. Here we go.
World Cup. Right.
World Cup.
I'm going to start. This is by far the shittest World Cup I've ever watched.
Really? Why?
I think the quality's been shit.
Mate, what are you smoking on?
Mate, I haven't got into it. I can't get into it.
Yeah, but that was the first couple of games. That was the first. Mate, you're talking shit, mate. No.
The football's not been great. It's in America, so it's full of Yanks. I can't get on board with it.
Gaz, what the fuck's happened to you, mate?
He's missing his football.
I mean,
the only thing I'll agree with Gaz in a way is there's too many teams doing low blocks now. It's that low block behind the ball, but teams have got to come to the Premier League's a little bit like that. I think it's been quality. It's a break for the football. We had no football all summer. Great World Cups on. The timings haven't been great. 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh God!
But I've loved it.
What is up with him? What is up with him?
It's an opinion.
Mike, we were at the England-Croatia game at Box Park. The atmosphere was brilliant, wasn't it?
How did you get into that?
Right, listen.
I've got texts of this to prove that you invited us all.
Gaz, he did invite us.
Didn't he, Matt?
To the wrong event, but yeah.
Thank you.
I had a YouTube event at Box Park, and the week after, the week before, I had a live event, which, Gaz, you were there at, for IBB 10. And I was at Box Park, and the woman who was our handler in the VIP room and things like that, she came up to me and went, "Your +1's turned up." And I went, "What?" I thought my wife had turned up to Box Park. I thought, nah, that can't be right. And she went, "No, he's bald." Bald? I went, "What?" Anyway, turns up at this all-ticket event in this thing, and cut long story short, they got you in, didn't they?
Yeah.
And we got smashed all day, didn't we?
Did.
There's Barry from EastEnders, Colton Cole. What was your mate?
Lyle.
Arsenal
TV. Yeah, Robbie Lyle.
That's it. He was loving it.
Yeah, it's a funny story, but yeah, it was good fun. Anyway,
No,
that's why I've liked the World Cup. I disagree. I think it was brilliant.
Yeah, so Gaz, fucking sort it out, mate. Look, I admittedly after the Ghana game was a bit down, right? After being on cloud 9 a few days before with Grant. But Gaz, we've just put on one of the best England performances.
I'm not taking away the
generations against Mexico.
No, I'm not taking away from that.
Water. Mate, come on, mate. We thought we'd be playing Brazil. We're playing Norway. Everyone's like,
the World Cup itself, England's performance haven't been great, but I've said all along, right?
Did you watch the Mexico game?
No, let me fucking finish.
But did you?
You do this all the time. Right? The performances through the group stages were a bit shit, but I was like, look, you don't want to blow your load too early. You need to grow into the competition. Right? I get that. And England have grown into
to be a grower, not a shower.
Yeah, England have grown into the competition. Do I think they're going to win it? It's coming home. No, I'm fucking wearing it, right?
No, he's wearing the top.
Huh?
You're wearing it.
I think the World Cup as a whole, but I've seen videos of $150 to park at a stadium. Everything it's a bit about money, and it's very, very it's too American.
Don't, mate. I paid $72 for breakfast in America.
Hydration place. That's so the fucking Yanks can have their commercials.
That there has been a few key areas that the biggest talking point, sadly, will end up being this Trump Flo Balogun red card thing. That's actual bullshit. It's ruining it. But they also posted as well, Gaz, something about the hydration break. It's actually generated £25 million in advertising.
Yeah.
So that's purely to do with money. We all know that because they're in air-conditioned stadiums and it's 20 degrees.
Yeah.
Our pre-season games this week in England and Saturday are going to be 30 degrees.
Yeah. Right, here you go. Just going back to what you said a second ago. That's the group. That's
look at that! Look at that wonderful picture. That was what a wonderful picture.
Literally, the comment that goes with that. Any of you lads want to come? Let me know. We couldn't mention anything until today. We'll be there with Arsenal, Robbie Lyle.
Is that what I said?
That's exactly what you said.
Thank you.
I tell you what, though, I've just had a little message. Midhurst and Eastbourne are going to announce the signing on Sunday. This is going to fucking shock the Prem.
Okay.
Harry Kane?
Has he told you it is?
I know it is.
Yeah. I'll message him in a minute and find out.
I know it is. And I tell you what.
Come on, Tom. Do the right thing.
That is some signing that everyone will look and go.
He was over on Instagram a minute ago watching. So,
well, look. I'll be look. It does say there. Feel free to drop a teaser if you want.
Who is gonna win the World Cup?
England, mate.
France.
Nah, listen. Anyone that beats France wins the World Cup.
France. 100%. They're the team for me that have been consistently great. They look like they're going to score from all round. But that front 4 or 5 of France will get in any team in the world. Any team. If we don't have Kane scoring or Bellingham scoring, where are we going to get our goals? That's my concern. And they got
2 tournaments ago, those goals would have come from slabbing himself, Harry Maguire, but he's not allowed. So
exactly. So look, we've done brilliant. I think we'll get to the final. I generally think the final will be France-England, but I think France, if we go there, I think they'll comfortably beat us 2-3-0. I'd love to be proved wrong. I absolutely would love it, but for me, they are the outstanding team so far.
Right.
And then,
if England don't win the World Cup, does Tuchel stay or does he go?
I think he'll stay now. I think he's proved it.
I think the one thing he's done is shown that he's got a plan B, right? We've gone behind, we've come back, we've the one thing I always said about Southgate time and time again is I never saw us turn things around in a game under him, right? I never saw us be under the cosh, be under pressure and turn things around. I think Tuchel's proven he can do that, right? So, you know, obviously, if we get back like 5-0 by Norway, so I think maybe it's different, right? But if we get to the final, which I think we can, even if we don't win it, which I think it is a big ask, I think he's shown enough already. Some of his picks are questionable.
Well, right? Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, I mean, he's broken his arm because he doesn't know how to climb over a barrier. But I think he has definitely shown enough. Like,
but he's great.
He knows knockout football.
Around the lads,
right?
It's great around the lads.
Best job. He did his best Nick Frost hot fuzz impression, hasn't he?
That video is probably the funniest video I've ever seen on Twitter. Yeah. Honestly,
look, I, in my opinion, he was brought in to take us that step further than Southgate. Has he taken us that step further than Southgate? No.
In the group stages, no.
Not yet.
So definitely not.
Yeah.
But he knows knockout football, right? He knows tournament football.
Yeah.
And I think he's proved that. So we'll see. Right. I'm usually quite cynical and negative about England. And there.
How many of us on here, though, as well, would have brought Dan Burn on? I wouldn't have. And he won. He done 2 headers. He done 2 headers that went over the halfway line.
He stuck his head when that bloke was about to do his overhead kick.
I was going, what's he bringing him on for? But that's hence why I'm sat here not managing a team and he's in the World Cup.
I would have definitely took Palmer.
Yeah, me too.
Not sure about Foden. Great.
The biggest regret he'll be having on his selection wise, because it's a right back, is why he didn't take Trent. He's probably our
Yeah.
We know he can't defend, but mate, he can go forward, and he would still be. Would he be if he was in the squad? Would Trent be playing now? 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Can't say. Can't say.
Anyway,
they're flying through.
Anyway, that's my view. But I think, I think like you, Daz, I think that the group stages we were a bit underwhelming, but group stages
do you think
about
that's down to the 48 teams?
Sorry.
Do you think that's down to making it full? Is it 48 this year, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
a money-making thing, more games, more money, and I think that's watered it down a bit for me.
But I think Matt was going to touch on it then.
Yeah.
Some of those teams, Cape Verde being one of them.
Yeah, they proved.
Well, that's where I was. I've actually got a legitimate Cape Verde.
I know you have, and that's why I mentioned it. But
Cape Verde, no stress.
And you look at some of the big teams that were there, like Uruguay, for example, who crashed and burned out.
They're crap.
You know, I think that I don't think expanding the number of teams is necessarily bad on paper. 100%.
Nah, Ballum, it ain't rigged.
No,
don't think the World Cup's rigged. Fix from that. They're not rigged.
The other thing I think, well, you're saying, Gaz, for me is we haven't had a classic Germany team. We haven't had a classic Brazil team. We haven't seen them. We haven't seen, do you know what I mean? Some of the big hitting countries that we've seen that have traditionally.
Portugal let me down. I thought they were crap.
Yeah, Holland weren't great again and flattered to deceive. There's a lot of sort of classic teams that were, but then that puts England in a better position because they're all shit. They're not in it. We are. So I think them not being great and going through their transitional stages of an aging team that's coming to the end is our benefit.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm getting grief from the Midhurst chairman here. He's saying you can't be announcing.
Quality.
Right.
Just a shout out. Look, that is definitely him.
Where we all looking forward to going this season? Where's the one club that you think I'm going to go there this season? It's going to be class.
Do you know what? I want to go back to Lewis because I went there last season, and obviously it's a very unique ground, really great atmosphere. But it was a really cold, rainy day, and I was very miserable. And I left like 2 minutes before the end, and I missed the only goal of the game, which was for Lewis. And I regret it so much. So Lewis is top of my list to go and turn things around and make it right.
Yeah.
No, not for me.
Grant?
I think I'm.
Don't say Grinstead.
I'm not going to. It's a similar, but I think Bridges. Because we ground shed there at Forest Road, and they've done so well. I can't wait to go and see them play that style of football in a league above and dominate it. So for me, and I say Paul Fairley, great.
I'll tell you one thing.
Bridges.
That's a club, they've recruited well. Ian Nichols, a lot of recruited well.
Yeah, they have done very well. Forest Road.
I saw. I had a smoke with him on Saturday. Old Ian, he's great guy. Love Ian.
Yeah, he is. He's a great coach, great manager. There'll be a little bit of a dark horse potentially.
I know. I think I only played a few of the team last night anyway. But that lot will go under the radar. Forest Road. Maybe not now. No, we just said it in front of everyone. But sorry, Ian. To be fair, but.
Bridges for me, Gaz, as a club. I'm looking forward to going to next year.
Yeah, Mike.
Well, what club am I looking forward to going to? I'm looking forward to going to Clanfield. I'm looking forward to going to Dial Square. I'm looking forward to going down. I've got a date booked down at Midhurst. That'll be a good date, to be fair. I've got one of them down there. I'm looking forward to going. Look, all the clubs probably by one or two.
Guildford's a nice place.
Where's that?
Guildford, be good to go check them out.
Yeah, but the problem with Guildford is, right, and I went there with Arundel in the Vars when we won on Ben's. It's an athletics track, mate.
Yeah, it's got no atmosphere. They're never the same. I don't like them. They're a good team, but it's the running track horrible.
You sure is, Aaron? And Aaron, you saying Aaron kept saying, send me a number. You got my fucking number, mate. I spoke to you in Cape Verde. Sort it out, Aaron.
I'm gonna say Shoreham because I've heard that the food is much better down there now. So
Shoreham?
Yeah.
It is much better, mate.
Shoreham, Horsham, and 100% see my club Worthing in the National League at some point.
Yeah, I want to get down to Arundel and see my boys Joss and Jimbo.
Yeah.
Down there and Dan Harvey. I want to get down there.
I was chatting to Jimbo last night.
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah, okay. All right, don't worry. Cheers.
I was
mate.
chatting to Jimbo last night, and because he was berating us at how shit the faces have come out on the poster for the podcast.
Yeah, I agree with that. I look about 80, even though I
Yeah,
am.
We've done you a favour, mate, to be fair.
I look like I've had a hard life working down the mines, I think, but that's it.
And I just said to him, he's jealous that he's not on it. So then I made one with him on it, and he looked about 20 years younger than he actually is.
Loved you,
so he
Loved you.
embraced it. Right. Anyone going to any pre-season games this weekend?
I was looking at Haywards Heath Hastings. I thought that looked like it could be quite tasty.
Mike, I know where you're going. We'll talk about that.
Well, that's the player, but I can't say.
Number 8.
Yeah, it could be any number 8.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going yet. I'm finished. I work Saturday. I'm working Saturday, and I'll finish at about, I think, 2, 3 o'clock. So whatever I do will be local to me, but I'm going to try and get a game in.
Hey, Gaz, me and you're a double act.
Live streaming it,
we're going to see our little friend Kelly down at Pagham, and Lemmy Ewan and Aaron Miller was a pie over there. We're going to go and have it in the Lions Den, aren't we? We're streaming all day, aren't we?
We're going to have Lions in the Lions Den in the coffee wagon.
Yeah. Me and Gaz are going to be streaming. I'm going to be serving coffee. Well, I'm probably not. I'm going to let Gaz serve most of the coffee. I'm just going to probably walk around at night, have a beer. No, I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. But I spoke to Kelly today. She's sorted out all the internet for us, mate. She's looking forward to seeing us.
Lovely. We're going to have a laugh. Be a laugh. I think the first kickoff's at 1, second kickoff's at 3:30. We'll be getting there from early-ish. I need to speak to him because I need to set up. And normally there's 2 of us setting up, but I can't think that you're going to help me be setting up. So
yeah, I mean, like,
that ain't happening, Gaz.
No.
I've got more chance of growing hair, mate, than that happening.
I'm with it, but
we're going to live stream on. You're going to go on X, aren't you? And then I think we might have it on.
Yeah, no, I'm going to set up a bit like this, so like all the platforms.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet.
Because Kelly was fantastic. She was. I was positioned on her table at the SCFL Awards.
Yeah.
And her and all the women were on there, and they were amazing. And they had to put up with me, so I need to be on my bestest behaviour.
Right.
Look, some incredible numbers, guys. I mean, yeah. It's
got to have been the longest show ever, isn't it? 2 hours, 24 minutes.
I don't know. This was about the time that it all went wrong last time. So
I mean, there's over 1,700 on the platforms.
Lovely.
Now, which is ridiculous numbers considering we only touched that twice last year on SNLF.
Yeah. Thank you very much for joining. Welcome, Grant. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you.
Brilliant debuts they were, lads. It reminded me of Ronaldo when he turned up to play against Bolton for Man United back in those days.
It's not.
Loved it.
We
the biggest lookalike I get, say Ronaldo, I get Danny Mills, mate, all the time. I've even signed signatures of Danny Mills in pubs before. You Danny Mills, mate? Yeah. I do, honestly, mate. So not Ronaldo, Danny Mills, Mike.
So for everyone out there, just to know that we expect England to beat Norway. If you don't, then sort it out. You're either Scottish or Welsh. There won't be a show then. However, the week after, we're going deep. We're going Bonnie Blue. We're going Bonnie Blue deep.
Without the cheese, yeah.
Shout out, my boy Lee. Yeah, we're going deep into the SCFL the week after. Big shout out to Hammy and Jarvis over there. Thanks for coming along. And we will have another player and manager coming on.
And if you're at Pagham this weekend for the Dave Q Cup, if you're Chichester, Pagham,
Worthing or Arundel.
You fucking throw me off. Worthing, Arundel, Chichester and Pagham. Come and say hello. Come and buy a coffee. Because I'm fucking skint.
Oh mate, I'll buy a coffee. I'll buy a coffee.
You
Yeah.
can have one for free, mate.
No, I feel really bad
Nah.
now, mate. I can't. No, I can't do
No,
that.
I'm not skin. I'm all right, but it's costing a lot of money to do this thing. So
You should see how much it costs to fund the fucking 2 podcasts.
yeah, right.
Brilliant.
Right.
On that note, guys, thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Bye.
what, everyone,
Nice.
Good
incredible. Matt, Grant, absolutely incredible additions. I know full well that the people out there are going to love you because I'm already blown away with the knowledge you have. I might retire. I think I'm out of the game now. So I might have to get someone else in now.
No.
Dougie.
Listen, Dougie, when he comes on, I'll
Coming
tell you
soon.
what, just be careful about him.
Oi, you buying that or just window shopping? Dugout 90, mate. Keep the lads hydrated. Buy a can.
Be careful with Dougie, yeah? He is the non-league Grim Reaper. He is actually trained to watch everyone's profiles and the players, the managers of clubs, and he takes it and he builds it into his AI brain. That's something that we're actually doing in the side. We'll get more into that, but eventually, probably in about a month to 6 weeks, he will be a talkable AI bot as a 5th member of the show. Okay?
Yeah. It's at that point that I leave because I ain't got anything, and Mike just takes over.
No, mate. No, I've retired from the game, mate. I'm in the drinks business now. I'm out the podcast game. I'm in the business.
Yeah.
Shout out to all these clubs here. One final time. Midhurst, Shoreham, Infinity, Westfield, Lancing, Pagham, Hastings United, Worthing United. Those guys come on board in the last few days and want to stop for free, and you retain the profits. No brainer. Get in touch with me and we'll go from there. But for everyone else, Gaz.
Bye.
Bye.
Imagine. See you soon, guys. Thanks for coming back. SNLF signing off. It's been a long one, but we got there.